everyone. Welcome to Club Rats. My name is John.
I'm Jesiah.
Fernando.
Ross.
In today's episode, we're going to go over the college football playoff. We'll go, give out the final rankings the committee gave. Obviously, there was a lot of people upset with the outcome in the college football playoff. So
we have one here right now.
Notre Dame, yep. Obviously, Notre Dame, even other teams, I guess.
Oh, that's right. Fernando likes Notre Dame.
Yeah. I was pissed.
We'll get to the NFL. If time permits, we might talk about college basketball a little bit or NBA, but mainly it's going to be college football and the NFL for this episode.
I mean, honestly, it's enough to talk about with what's going on.
It was a big
in college,
big week, very dramatic. First we'll give the seeding. Indiana, after beating Ohio State 13-10, is the number one overall seed. It's hard to argue with that ranking. Talent, I don't think they're the best team, but they're the one seed. But let's give our opinion.
Yeah,
we'll do that. So Indiana 1, Ohio State only fell to 2, Georgia 3, number 4 is Texas Tech, number 5 is Oregon, number 6 is Ole Miss. Texas A&M is 7, 8 and 9. 8 is Oklahoma, 9 is Alabama. Miami is 10, Tulane is 11, and James Madison comes in as the last spot as a 12 seed.
Here we go.
Let's go.
First team out.
Let's go over the committee process
Second,
first.
yes.
Our grievances with the committee. Then
Everyone has a lot.
We'll pick the games. I'll just start it off. I've been against this committee since the beginning. Even in the very first one, there really has been controversy in about, I'd say, at least 3/4 of these, maybe more. Some years do just line up perfectly. This is probably their worst year. I think it's my biggest problem with it. I don't think Notre Dame, I think they're crying a little too much, but I do think the committee did a horrible job in putting them, when the first rankings came out, they stated them ahead of Miami after Miami beat them. So they set this up. I don't know why they had to do that. All they had to do was, Miami, you beat Notre Dame. Obviously Miami's gonna be one spot ahead. I think Notre Dame people wouldn't even have been upset.
All they have to do, John Ross.
That's my biggest grievance.
Get rid of the weekly show.
Okay.
That's no.
I agree.
They're not going to get rid of that show because it gets
makes
views.
money.
It makes
Yeah.
money.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
That's my biggest grievance with it. I do think Georgia should have been 2, and I think Ohio State should have been 3. I don't understand why Georgia had the same record as Ohio State. Both had 1 loss, and they were the SEC champion. Ohio State lost. They're not even their conference champion. I would have put... It does matter for Ohio State. I will say that. And even Georgia. Fernando, you as a Notre Dame fan, how do you feel right now? You obviously feel slighted. We can relate to this. Michigan, Ohio State was in 1973 and ended a tie. Totally different thing, but just a situation where you feel like you got screwed. Yeah. How do you feel for it?
It's clearly, they clearly got fucked. There's no other way to say it. I mean, like you said, that's one of the many problems I have. One is the rankings throughout the whole year, which I am not really for. I don't think there should be any rankings until maybe week 10, 11, 12 when you're getting closer to the playoffs. You're ahead of them all year, and all of a sudden they jump you at the end, which doesn't make any sense. They keep claiming the head-to-head, that they won the head-to-head, which is, what are we looking at? We're looking at Carson Beck's, 45th game against C.J. Carr's first game. You lose on a last-second field goal, which, hey, you lost. I mean, I'm not going to...
Game was in Miami.
It was at Miami. I'm not going to hold that to them.
But they did lose.
They lost. That's the thing. If you ask anybody who watches college football, you can't sit here and tell me that Miami today is a better team than Notre Dame. You just can't say that.
But if Notre Dame would have made it, then everyone would have bitched about they lost the head-to-head.
People are going to bitch regardless. That's what we're bitching right now. I mean, look at Florida State. They went undefeated, 3 years ago and missed the college football playoff. That was bullshit. They were complaining. People were saying they're crying. Whatever. It happens every year.
Well, they've never recovered from that.
They literally haven't.
Anyway,
they beat Bama week 1 though.
Yeah,
they did.
That was a great win.
That's my problem. Bama.
To stay on track though, they both have 2 losses. By Notre Dame to 2 top 25 teams. Both of those teams are in the playoffs, and if you combine the total amount that they've lost by on those 2 games, it's only 4 points.
Yeah.
Whereas Miami's losses come to 2 unranked teams. So you can't tell me those losses are the same.
Virginia ended up ranked. Virginia ended up
Yeah,
in the top
yeah,
25.
They lost
did,
to Duke
they
in the
did
ACC
end, but
championship.
But I
yeah,
think Virginia still was going to end up in the top 25.
Yeah.
at the time.
And
they
I don't
were,
know where SMU was at. So,
So, I
and see,
I
but see,
think they ended
you
up
guys
Okay,
keep saying this
7-5.
at the time.
Yeah.
Play the season. When the
Yes.
season is over,
Then you rank.
then we
I
make
agree.
an assessment. Look, you got no rules.
And let me say, but yeah, you're right. If they because they're following the college basketball in some ways, they're following the format. But the great thing with the college basketball tournament does, they give you it's as soon as the Big Ten tournament's over, they put the official rankings. Well, they do it before in a lot of cases. The game's over, but they wait and then they give it to you.
Yeah.
The committee, I think I don't think the committee did this on purpose. They used Notre Dame as a prop to draw them in. Now Notre Dame's guaranteed in the top. They're in the playoff. If they finish in the top 12, they're guaranteed in.
Well, the line was minus 650
So-
for them to make.
Yes. So
But why
they're
was it
in.
two
This is going to
lost
expand to
teams?
16. This
Why
is all
was
a
a
ploy.
two-loss team
100%.
top
Yeah,
10
it was
easy
just
to
a
begin
ploy.
with?
But Dad, you have to see what it is. You're trying to look logically at it. It was just a ploy to get to 16
No,
teams.
I understand.
That's
That's
all
all.
we're at.
Josiah,
Money.
we could enter this conversation. It's about getting TV ratings, which gets the money that drives the whole system.
What's sad
How-
about it for me, though, I actually do think Notre Dame was a team. Like, to me, everybody's, that Indiana-Ohio State game was the greatest game they ever saw. I'm telling you, I think Notre Dame.
They could
I'm
win the
not saying
whole
they
thing.
would win those games, but I think they could beat. I think they'd be
Notre
competitive
Dame
in
would
those
be
games.
competitive in
100%.
those games. But
I think
here's
they
the
could win.
problem. The biggest
They
problem.
certainly have a better chance of James Madison.
And Tulane.
Or
They
Tulane.
They shouldn't
That's
be
true.
in the playoffs.
You got a
They
Big
really should.
Ten where nobody plays anybody outside of the SEC. The only group of teams where you have to play a game every week that's a tough game is in the SEC. Tell me, when Ohio State played Wisconsin or Michigan or Illinois, tell me
I'm
those teams aren't any good.
I've
They
seen this
suck.
last show though. The
And
college football,
this
the
Indiana
scheduling is a
team that
problem.
everybody's
The
going on
scheduling
about.
is a problem.
They got 12 transfers. 6 of them are from James Madison.
Yeah, I know.
Is there anybody out there that thinks James Madison is the best team in college football? I guess we're going to find out
They
because they're
shouldn't
in the
even be in the
playoff.
playoff.
They're going to get their ass kicked by
they're-
Well, let's-
I think-
hang on
I
a
think
second.
21-point dog.
Let's. No, I think it was 26.
Well, but didn't
Whatever.
the
Same thing.
committee
Yeah,
said
but I'm
we're going
20
to get the
that's-
12 best teams?
yes.
Yes.
Best.
I have
And
a
it
problem.
really should be 16 or maybe
Yeah.
even more.
Which
and
I
that
agree.
would, as what did we find out with the basketball? When they went to 68, now nobody can
'Cause-
bitch because you got everybody in. Let's play the games.
like-
and see. If football went to
Even like
16,
BYU, Dad. BYU or Utah. Who are the teams that were on the fringe?
It
Like
was just
BYU.
Notre Dame,
USC,
BYU. No,
my problem
Vanderbilt.
with
It
the,
was
my
Notre
problem
Dame,
with,
BYU,
with the,
Vandy, and
the
Texas,
Big
those are
12,
the
John
four.
Ross, is Texas Tech kicked everybody's ass so bad except for Arizona.
I
Arizona
agree.
State. Yeah, but like BYU's played Texas Tech twice. They've lost
yeah.
by 4 or 5
No, I agree.
touchdowns.
I
agree.
How's BYU going to beat them again in the playoff? I think we've seen that.
Well,
No.
Fernando,
So-
before we did the show, Fernando made a good point about Texas Tech. They won their conference. Why aren't they higher than Ohio
Yeah, that's
State?
what I said.
Why did Ohio State get a 2 seed?
No, everybody always gives
Fuck
us Ohio State.
I don't
They
understand.
suck. The,
See, to me, that Indiana-Ohio State game could have been the brother to the Texas-Ohio State game. And I don't think any of those teams...
Or the
I just
Michigan
don't
Ohio
think
State
they're
game
the-
last year. Same
best
score,
team.
by the way.
Yeah, well...
It was almost the same game, just different uniforms for Indiana. Michigan.
You know why?
It was a similar game.
Ohio State's ranked number 2 just because the name and the media blows them. It really,
100%.
it really should be Indiana 1 because they're undefeated and beat Ohio
Georgia
State.
2.
Georgia 2, Texas Tech 3 because those are your conference champs. And
Yeah,
Ohio
so
State
what's
at
the point
4
of the games then? What's the point of the games then?
because they pick and choose.
Let me
to-
say this, though. And they lost, though.
You guys are
But-
a little young. I've been around when undefeated teams didn't win the national
Yeah.
championship, like Penn State several
Yes.
times under Joe Paterno.
Had undefeated teams that didn't
And
get an
you
national
can,
championship.
in my opinion, I would have
'Cause
no
he's playing
problem
like
with somebody taking
nobody.
Georgia and Texas Tech.
He's playing Maryland.
They should both be over Indiana and Ohio State.
I think
They
so
play
too.
better teams. It's just not even. It's not the same thing.
If the
I think
conference
Georgia
championships
should be too.
don't matter,
I think so.
if they don't matter, then why did James Madison and Tulane make it? 'Cause the only reason
Well,
why
they
made
have a rule where a group of 5 has to
Yeah.
get in.
Well, 1. Why did they put
Why does
two?
it matter?
Well, you guys
If-
know everybody that gets in this
No, it's
automatically
true.
gets a $4 million
Who?
check. The
I-
12
I-
teams,
yeah,
each
actually-
one gets $4 million.
Okay.
That Notre Dame's a little pissed about that
Oh, no,
too,
that's
because they
that's
get
all
that
they're pissed
$4
about.
million
That's what they
check.
care about.
But so but the $4 million to James Madison
Means a
and
lot.
Tulane, that's like their whole athletic program for the next 10 years.
Okay, now let's just go
And
down.
they wanted college wanted to
Yeah.
keep that
Where does
Yeah.
alive.
there's going to
still.
be obviously Notre Dame's already brokered this deal where they're in the top 12. They're in the 12-team playoff.
Catholics need their tithe.
Automatically.
Tell me why, though. Why is Notre
hang on a
Dame
second.
better than BYU, Vanderbilt, all the
I
two-loss
can't argue.
teams?
No, I can't argue.
Miami,
They are
they
better.
lost 2 games.
Or
I agree.
what about a 3-loss team, Alabama?
Yeah, well, and that's another. I've not been that big on Bama all year.
They've sucked the past 5 weeks.
Does
The
Notre
only
Dame
thing-
though?
the only
Does
thing-
Notre Dame now? Because the Notre Dame AD, he went on the Dan Patrick show today and he was furious.
Which-
He
which
was
should be.
furious at the ACC though.
They threw him under the
The
bus.
ACC, like, they came out and they didn't even act like they knew Notre Dame. Like they didn't. No, but
Notre
they're
Dame-
kind of a
Notre
partner
Dame's
with
not
them.
a football partner with the ACC.
They guarantee
That's-
6 games every year.
I understand.
No, it's a con. They play
but,
6 games
but
every
it's
year.
basketball, it's girls field hockey,
Yes.
volleyball.
No, does
The
Notre Dame now
does not
leave?
play for the ACC
Does
championship?
Notre Dame now leave the ACC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what. See, I think what's going to happen to Notre Dame, and I know nobody ever wants to hear this, you're going to end up with 4 or 5 conferences, 50 teams that are going to compete for this thing. Notre Dame will be one of those teams, and if they're going to compete for it, they will be in one of those conferences. And it will be just like the NFL. You have an NFC North where they're all Midwest teams, AFC North.
Yeah.
The conferences will be the same. Notre Dame's probably going to be in a conference with Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State.
What about
Well,
Michigan
Michigan-
State?
Michigan wants
Michigan
out of the
State
Big
will
Ten.
be in there. Michigan State's ponied up the money. So you're going to have to play. In the NFL, we all play somebody.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the Eagles and the Chargers. We don't get to bring in a Division II opponent or pick the Tennessee Titans. You got to play somebody if they're any good.
Who
So-
besides? Let's just veer away from Notre Dame a little bit here. Who besides Notre? He's gone. We have the Chargers Eagles on right now. Saquon Barkley just it was
That's
60
his
yard run,
longest
50-yard
run of the year.
Yeah.
God, he's that whole team.
Who
Yes.
besides Notre Dame? Because I do think Notre Dame had a legitimate
Vandy.
gripe.
Vandy,
Vandy's
100%.
Who's the second team? Vanderbilt.
Vandy.
Well,
like
Vanderbilt, the
Vanderbilt.
committee loves Utah for some reason.
I like
I would put
BYU.
Texas over.
Do they like
Texas
Vanderbilt or
Tech.
do they like the guy's mom, Pavea's mom,
Pavia.
Pavia?
I'm a fan of this mom too.
I think
Vanderbilt competes. They've got some real defensive issues. Anybody they play that's any good is going to put up 30 on them.
I think Notre Dame's the only team though that I could look at and say I don't think they're going to win it, but they had a chance to win it.
Well,
They had a chance to-
Notre Dame runs the ball.
And I have to
don't
say-
trust their quarterback, and I don't trust
If-
that
if
head
you're-
coach. But they do run the ball well.
If you're doing a 12-team playoff and you take a team out that have a chance, that's only 12 teams. That's not good. That's a bad job by the
No, would Notre Dame beat James Madison or Tulane? Hell
Easily.
yes.
I think they would
and that,
they'd probably
see,
be by
and I don't understand why Notre
Well,
Dame
let's do
isn't
this.
talking
Okay,
about that
'cause
because they are one of the
Put
best.
Notre Dame
12.
in the 12 spot, Fern.
I think they would beat Ole Miss or Oregon.
Here's what they're going to do to Notre Dame, though.
Well,
too.
the games would be competitive. We don't know.
No, but let's say
But they
so
sure as hell would beat
James Madison
and Tulane.
Oh,
we
Ja-
know that.
James Madison's going out to Oregon. They're like 25, 26.
And that's what they're going out to.
What
Four
would,
touchdowns.
what would Notre Dame? What would Notre Dame be in that game?
I think Notre Dame would be minus 3.5.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. A
At-
3
at
point game.
most,
No,
5.5.
in Oregon it'd be about
At
a 3
Oregon?
point. Yeah,
At
in Oregon
most,
it'd be about a
5.5.
3 point game.
That's about it.
They would. The house would take that half point. It would
Yeah.
make 3.5.
Yeah, the books seem to
Yeah.
be doing that. I notice everything's now
I think,
3.5,
It's
2
just
and a
like
half. They
what
don't
you
put the
already
numbers
said.
out
They're
there.
using
Well,
Notre Dame as a ploy. They're going to
Yeah.
get 16 teams next year. They're going to guarantee Dame a spot essentially. But also, I think they have to penalize Notre Dame to a certain extent for not doing their bowl game.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't. The
No,
bowl
but
games
it's
don't
not-
mean anything.
It's not just them, but
who should penalty?
Iowa State.
I think-
Notre Dame's,
think
you know,
the
Notre Dame's
NCAA
already penalized itself. Jesiah, they're not going to get paid for that bowl game,
Yeah,
so
okay.
they're going to lose out on
See
$7
that?
million.
I will give the
right there.
committee
think
credit on
teams-
this.
I don't think
If they were
teams-
trying to make the most money, putting
Yeah.
Notre Dame in the playoff
Yeah.
would have made more money.
Yeah.
So what are you going to say?
Well, no, I was just going to say, because this isn't the first time a team's backed out of being in the bowl game because they don't want to support the NCAA and,
Yeah.
and their decision.
But Notre
But they're
Dame's
still
taking a
in the
hit
NCAA.
money-wise. They're giving up several $1 million because they probably would have
Oh,
played
yeah, even
Michigan
a-
or Texas.
No,
or
imagine a
Citrus
Michigan
Bowl or
Notre Dame
what- yeah.
game. Idiots
It
would
would've
go to
been
that
huge,
game.
yeah.
Or possibly Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, somewhere.
Notre
that
Dame,
would have been a
Texas.
big money
I mean,
game.
it would have
yeah.
been a good game, but
Yeah,
at the end of the day, what does that game mean?
Nothing.
Yeah.
You win the Pop-Tart Bowl. Like, it
And that's
I
see,
mean,
I actually,
well,
it's
I
only I
actually
will say-
respect Notre Dame because they don't want to get their kids hurt. Why that they're
Yeah,
that
and
running back?
the
What's
senior
running back?
Jeremiah Love.
Love right
He's
now.
done.
The
Well, yeah,
scout
he's-
that I follow in the NFL has Love as the number
One thing I will say, if
pick, which tells you where we're headed with the NFL draft of running back. But why should you force Love to decide whether to play in a bowl game? He's going to opt out, and everybody's going to be on that.
Well, that's what they did.
Leave him alone.
All the players voted, and then they all decided not to.
Forget
play.
if you were a senior though, and you didn't know that was your last game, that would suck.
No,
but the seniors are mainly the ones who voted.
I know. Hey, if they agreed to it,
if it was a playoff game, Love's playing. But John Rossi's a running back. Those guys got the lifespan of a housefly. I mean, come on, you want to go play Vanderbilt?
No, but maybe there's some senior who's not playing the NFL and he wants to play one more game in his career.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't get to play.
John Rossi's going to be a top 10 pick.
I'm not talking about Love. I'm talking about a guy on the team.
The Titans are going to.
I'm talking about
maybe.
I'm talking about a grad,
a senior that's going to sell
a guy like that.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
but they wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for Love, and those guys respect that. So they all got together. I think the bowl games. I think they're bullshit myself.
I personally like the bowl games, but for programs the programs who are on the cusp of the bubble of making the playoff and get screwed, then it's like, why would we play? But
like Penn State is 6-6. They're playing Clemson,
It
which
does
is like
give you.
that's like the zombie bowl.
It gives you an extra.
They're like
30
corpses
days
coaching.
of practice. You get
What
that.
happens
You
to
can
these
develop
teams?
your
Exactly.
team. And so they say. So you got to remember though, with this football though. Every game you play, you're taking a risk somebody's really going to get hurt.
Yeah.
So what the hell are we playing for here? That question you
I
need.
agree.
Well, the people who aren't going to make the draft, you know what I mean? People like this are just.
You're right though. Life and limb is on the line.
There's so much going on with college football that people don't even. There's a kid at Missouri who just left Georgia, and Georgia's suing him for $390 million because he backed out of his NIL deal. See, and Trump's been talking about this. He wants to make it so the players can't come and go, and they're going to. I love how it's okay for the coaches to come and go.
Yeah,
and make these,
I think
but
that
he don't
should
want
stop.
the players to be able to do that. Yeah, but Congress can pass laws. You're going to have to watch that because there's an interface between the Greg Sankeys, the idiots in college sports, and the federal government. People forget this, but all these universities, unless you're Notre Dame or Northwestern,
or USC.
SC, they all get federal funding. Yeah, but so you're playing with taxpayer dollars here. So there's going to be let's get Nick Saban said this the other day. Will somebody come up? What are the rules? How are we compete? You guys are going on about this committee. Okay, Bama gets to stay in even though they got their ass kicked in the championships game. Texas Tech has to go.
Well, yeah,
they lost their championship, so they have to go. Or not Texas Tech. BYU has to go.
The only way this committee can work though is if they expand it because they're going to make
No, it
mistakes
should
every
be
year.
16.
If it was at least 16, who'd be arguing then?
It's funny.
Nobody.
It's
No,
funny.
I'm saying, but 17 would be pissed.
The next four teams that would be in would definitely be Vandy, Texas, BYU, and Notre Dame.
I think USC 17 and
Non-debatable.
Michigan's 18.
Utah
So
would
they'd
be
be pissed.
bitching in that case too, although BYU did.
But
beat
they have a
Utah.
lesser argument,
See,
though.
the only thing the TV people have come up with that I've agreed with,
Oh.
and everybody thinks this is crazy, I actually think going to 24 is what you should do. And see, where I get that model from Division III for years and Division II.
They do that.
Oh, they let it, and
What's
they
NFL,
play the whole
14?
month. They play the whole month of December.
NFL is 14 with wild cards.
Yeah,
right?
well, NFL's different.
I know.
NFL has a set rules. We know what we're doing in the NFL for the most part, unless you're Nick Sirianni.
God, man.
But
Or Stefanski.
yes, well, he's Stefanski. That he's got Jimmy
That was a bad
Haslam, the
call.
Browns one. Let's not even get me started on the NFL. But what are the rules?
Yeah.
When are the kids
They
going to
gotta have
transfer?
something.
When can we talk to coaches?
Along with that, I think that NIL deals need to include contracts where, hey, if we give you this money, you can't leave for 2 years.
Well, no, that's what Georgia is contesting in court. They have it's called an opt-out, and they're saying the kid couldn't do that. He's saying he could. Apparently, the kid was only paid because the $390 was supposed to be like in $30,000 or $40,000 installments, and he only got one installment. But Georgia's suing for the whole thing. This is gonna once you get into the legal system.
So
what the law
that is good. Georgia's doing that. I think other teams should do that.
they will. They will. They're going to do
And
that.
then same with the coaches. There's no way Kiffin should be allowed to. Ole Miss is the top 5 seed, right?
Well,
But
but that would have all been
six.
solved. Like in the NFL,
And
you can't
Kiffin's
even
saying-
talk to a coach to the
No,
playoffs.
it's
are over.
unbelievable
Till
that
his
these-
team's out of the playoff, you can't talk to the coach.
But at college is different because you have the recruiting and all.
No, but
that
the
they put
recruiting.
that-
Why is the final signing day in December or whatever. Just
Yeah,
push that
like,
back
do your
to the
coaching
spring.
search.
after the season.
Yeah.
Coaches have to get their job by January. The recruiting ends March. So even if you get a job
There
last
needs to be
minute, you
deadlines.
still have time
Yeah.
to throw a
You
class
can miss
together.
out on a number
James
one.
Franklin's throwing a top 25 class together.
Dusty May did it last year.
Now, how
in a couple
Franklin
months. He
did
threw a
it,
team together.
he stole all his Penn State recruits. He took
Yeah.
14 or some of them with him to Virginia
Yep.
Tech.
Anything else on the college football playoff though? Any other team?
They
So
don't have any
yeah.
rules, and this whole idea about this closed door, where and they're always old people, and most of the time they're usually old white people, but they're sage people who know everything, and we can pick the right team. Play the games. Let it be decided on the field. Who wins their conference? Who's a conference runner-up? There's 8 teams right there. Anybody that made a conference championship, and if the ACC that screwed up their rules. Maybe Miami gets screwed over for Duke and Virginia if that's what they did.
If there's no more at-large bids.
But play the season. Rankings. They have NFL rankings every week in the NFL. They come. Yeah, nobody cares. They don't mean anything and that's just a college football. If you want to do a ranking, but it doesn't mean anything.
No.
So when Notre Dame was in there and somebody asked the committee, well, why'd you put Notre Dame? They've got 2 losses because at that time there were a ton of undefeateds and 1-loss teams. And somebody from we look at the tape. Okay. Well, Notre Dame smash-mouthing Pitt or Miami of Ohio. I've looked at that the whole Big Ten season. You can watch Ohio State's whole season. The only team they played was Texas, and I never thought Texas was any good. So the tape, and this is something I had to learn about the tape because I'm one of these big tape people. Who are you watching on the tape? And you got to be careful about that because what everybody's told us here is the 2 best teams are Indiana, Ohio State. What I've looked at, looking at SEC teams, Big 12, there's other teams out there. I think Georgia and Texas Tech are probably the 2 best teams in the country. And I think there's a whole group. Yeah. You can take Indiana, Ohio State, Alabama, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Miami, Texas A&M. Those teams, those are
Oregon?
all. Yeah. I'm not big on Oregon, and I don't trust Lanning. He always blows it. What I think is going to happen to Indiana is kind of what happened to Oregon last year.
I think so.
Oregon came in undefeated. Did they get Ohio State?
I will say this, and
Signe's
been a great coach, but he does those kids like the joy they had on their faces, which was good for them. They won.
Who?
Signetti.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to get them back down.
Well, I've recently done a lot of
But-
work on this Indiana team, and like I say, 12 transfers, 6 of them are James Madison kids, and some of the they're one of their DNs is from Kent State. The running backs from Maryland.
Yeah, they don't have any.
The Mendoza's a Cal kid.
Yeah, Cal.
And to me, when I look at Mendoza, and I told him this, he's a poor man's Jared Goff. That's what you have there. So the kid, he's made some throws. He's got a little size to him. I don't see anything that special about that kid.
But he also reacted well when you got hit.
He had toughness.
Yeah,
toughness.
You were saying that.
But
before.
see,
Did he look better than Sand?
Well, he's bigger than Sand. See, Sand to
Also
me,
older.
I think Sand's a mirage. They haven't played anybody. What I kept telling you about Sand, can I see the kid play when somebody hits him? Well, what did Indiana do? They put up, I want to say, Buckeye fans, Ryan Day, Julian Sand, all this, those 2 receivers, Jeremiah Smith, the next Randy Moss, Jerry Rice there. Yeah, well, those were James Madison defensive backs back there, shutting those 2 clowns down. Don't get me started on Ryan Day and what I've seen. Ohio, the people in Ohio, you got guys coaching in high school right now that could take over that Ohio State team. And Ohio State would win a national championship every year with those guys. You get Ryan Day, what's he lost? 10 games or whatever there? Yeah, no. So we've seen Sand get hit. What did I see? I saw, what is he? 5'9", 5'11", 5'10". Got kind of a pop gun arm. He held up. He stayed in the game. The ankle got nicked up a little bit. But also Ohio State's got to be true to yourself. Ohio, You got running backs. You got offensive linemen. You got defensive people.
Play
Run.
Big
You
Ten
saw
football.
this with Woody Hayes and
Play
Jim
Big Ten
Tressel.
football.
Yes. When my son puts on a podcast and I see Ohio State people worried about the weather, do you think Woody Hayes ever went into a game scared about the weather or Jim Tressel? Come on, it's football. When they brought in Urban Meyer,
Especially the Michigan Notre Dame.
when they brought in
Michigan,
Urban
Ohio State
Meyer,
game.
and we're sitting here saying Notre Dame against Ohio State. Why? Because Notre Dame's going to run the ball, and we don't know if Ohio State can stop the run. Woody Hayes is rolling over in his grave somewhere. Jim Tressel, he may not say it, but that never would have happened under those guys. There's great football coaches at high school level, Division III, Division II. Jim Tressel, where was he at? Youngstown State?
Youngstown.
Yeah,
He's the president of the school now.
They can get those guys. They'll
Penguins.
play Big Ten. You won't have to worry about
The
Michigan. You
Youngstown
kick
State
Michigan's
Penguins.
ass every year. Michigan ran the ball and beat Ohio State. Couldn't stop. It snowed and they couldn't throw the ball.
They had the
So-
flu the one year.
Yeah.
So,
They were sick.
besides James Madison and Tulane, which team would you guys take out to put Notre Dame in? Let's start with you, Fernando. Would you take Miami
Which
out?
team? I would take Miami out. They didn't make their conference championship. I mean, they lost, like you said. Well, I guess they lose to Virginia and SMU.
See, I don't have a problem taking Miami out because I don't trust
Cristobal's
Cristobal. I don't
terrible.
trust that Carson
Yeah.
Beck. He's a turnover weight. You know that
But
kid
then
had 20
the-
picks in 20 games.
So then with the head-to-head matchup, you're saying that doesn't matter then?
No. But the team I would
Well, I'm
take
just saying,
out
look
is
at the
Alabama.
losses.
See, I actually think Miami and Notre Dame both deserve to be in. The
Yeah.
team I would take out is Alabama because,
Same.
again, I've watched Bama can't run the football.
No,
And
they're all pro.
the
All
Simpson
five.
kid, Simpson to me could be Sands' brother. He's small. He's accurate if you give him time. They got skilled people. Alabama, I don't know. They're not. I don't think that DeBoer has a handle on that team. They got a kid at left tackle that's like 6'7", 360 pounds.
Yeah.
He should be the number one
Proctor?
pick in this draft. The kid, he's from Iowa.
Proctor.
Yeah. We saw him in the Rose Bowl. Michigan.
got a brother named
Michigan.
Gamble.
Michigan.
Proctor and Gamble.
Ate his lunch in that game. The kid is a tremendous athlete. He's not ready to play. DeBoer doesn't fit
He
at
doesn't.
Bama.
And-
that was a
And
mistake
all I heard
to
was
do that.
that they had good defense. Georgia did wherever they wanted to score games.
Georgia's another.
I will
one.
say-
I do think Georgia's the best team, but Kirby Smart. I mean, when I was in high school, my coach once was telling me about a team that he had because the team I was on kind of reminded him. He said, with that team, if I could just get them to the field, nobody's getting arrested, nobody's going to hit their girlfriend, nobody's going to get drunk, go out to strip club. If I can get them to the field, we're going to win the game because they can play football. That Smart's had team. He's got guys like that down there. That Gunner Stockton or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are these guys in the weight room watching tape.
I think
They're not having milk and cookies.
I
the
think
night
Georgia
before.
is varsity blues.
Yeah, well,
I think it's
there's some of that there.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
the
that's
problem
I don't
is
know
it's that
when they
far.
come out and they're not ready to
Right?
play.
I don't mean in a bad way. It just is what
Well,
it is.
that's how they lose. That's how you lose to Alabama.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how you lose to Alabama.
And they still almost beat Bama.
Yeah.
But I guess the game I want to see though is it's either Georgia playing Texas Tech or one of those two teams playing Ohio State. That would be if that ends up as a championship
I'd
game.
be happy.
But I never get the games. Like I wanted to see Notre Dame play Ohio State, and we're not going to get that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this all plays out. But
John, what about you? Which team would you eliminate to add Notre Dame?
I wouldn't eliminate anybody.
So it's right the way it is then.
No, I wouldn't have gave 2 at larges to
They should have got one.
James Madison and
there was a way to
Tulane.
do this where you
Okay.
didn't have to add.
I probably would have
James
left
Madison.
Tulane
I
in.
think Duke had to lose.
I would have left Tulane in and put in Notre Dame.
At 12?
No, I would have put Notre Dame in at
10.
11.
10 is fair. 10 or 9.
I would have put him at
I would
10.
put them above Alabama.
I would have put him at 10 so they rematched against A&M.
That's fair.
Now they would have had to gone to A&M though
Yeah.
because A&M beat him. So you're in.
And it's a rematch.
Yeah, and you got to go on the road this time. That would
And
have
that,
been,
and
that would have been a great game.
because we see this
That'd
in the
been a great
NFL
game.
all
Yeah,
the time.
man.
You get rematch games.
Yeah.
There are teams in the NFL. Detroit had to beat.
Like-
Possibly was going to have to beat Minnesota
It-
last year 3
It's
times.
kind of shitty for A&M because like okay we got to play, but you get him at home. I would take it.
Yeah, I would
I mean-
take it too. What would you make the line? I would probably do Dame 3.5 again.
At A&M, God,
3.5 or 5.5 max.
You would make Dame favorite?
Oh no, A&M would be a favorite.
What is it?
I'd make A&M a 3-point.
Fernando, you're a Notre Dame. What is it with this Freeman clown in these games early in the season? Because last year you got in last year, even though you lost to Northern Illinois early in the
That's
season.
true.
It almost
Then he
doesn't
comes
matter
out
when Notre
this
Dame
year,
plays early; they struggle.
and
always
the one game, really the game. You know what cost Notre Dame is an extra point.
A&M,
Yeah.
They
wow.
can't make an extra point,
Yeah.
and you lose the game. Yeah, but
You do have to talk about that.
that's
They
all
also-
coaching.
There was also a couple bad calls late, but I mean, that's
Yeah,
what
well, there's
happened.
always, but
they
you know,
still-
and
they had
it
to
is
make
sad.
that.
This Love kid, as I just said, he is the number. Some people have him as the number one college football player. I actually think he should probably get the Heisman Trophy because he's quarterback. People are talking to me about Fernando Mendoza,
Love had a
and I
great
look
year.
up at the scoreboard and I see 13
Well,
points.
that's why I am upset Notre Dame didn't make it. Again, they're a team. They're in the mix. You would want to see them play some of these teams.
yeah.
100%.
Even if they had to play Georgia again.
I mean, I'm
would
not
watch it.
watching Oregon and James
Yeah.
unless I get a blip and somehow
Yeah,
James
I'm not even gonna
Madison
Why would
or-
you even watch that game?
or
James Madison.
Tulane.
It's
Ole
not-
Miss
there's no
beat
point to
Tulane
watch it.
45-10.
They're gonna
Earlier
they're
this
gonna beat them
year.
like-
That's 5 touchdowns. I got to watch this again for what?
That's what's gonna happen.
You know, you're talking, yeah, but if they're talking about, see, this is where college makes no sense. How is that game good for TV?
It is.
I mean, come
Makes
on.
no sense.
And, last year when Oregon,
You're right. If James Madison makes a
Yeah,
game
no,
out of it, then it would.
we're all going to be on it like an
The greatest
NCAA
game,
tournament
yeah,
game.
it'd be
We're
the greatest
all
game
on
ever.
the
Yeah.
same-
They lost their coach,
Yeah.
James Madison
Yeah,
coach. He's
yeah.
at
Florida State.
No, but I think he's staying with James
Florida,
Madison
right?
through the playoff, though. I think he's staying with James Madison.
It's one of
through
the Floridas. No, I think it's Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in this stuff, you don't know, which nobody ever wants to admit about football. Everybody talks like they know this is going to happen. Last year with Oregon and Ohio State, we were told this was going to be the game of the year in the playoff.
And then-
I read at halftime, it's 35-7,
It was over.
and I had nothing to watch. I mean, turn the TV off. I'm done for the day.
Well,
With
that's
there's
what's
nothing
going to
there.
happen with James Madison and Tulane in the mix.
Do you guys remember the SMU Penn State game?
Penn
Yeah,
State crushed
well,
them.
That was
people wanted to coronate Sir
SMU
James there because he beats
Yeah, but their quarterback threw
SMU
like
up
4
in Beaver
picks.
Valley or whatever.
They
Beaver
had
Falls.
no chance in that game. It was ugly.
No. Somebody said the best teams because they use this. Here's these college committee. Is it the best resume? Is it most deserving?
No, but they'll say
is it the best
but yeah,
team?
they'll
Do
say
they
whatever.
pass the eye? What the
No,
hell
but
is the
they'll
eye
say
test?
whatever
That's
it is.
ridiculous.
They'll say whatever it is though to get it.
Yeah,
to,
no. Well, you can do that. They got so many
to fit
rules.
their point.
We let Bama even though they just got their ass
They
kicked.
just make it up as they go.
But Texas, BYU, 2 losses to what's probably a
Arguably
real
the best
national
team in the
championship
country.
contender, Texas Tech, and BYU can't get in.
All right, now so now we've discussed the college football committee's nonsense and chaos. Let's go to the first game.
Let's
Yeah.
jump in the brackets. So I wrote down the brackets for all of us. We could start off with you, Mr. Campo.
You want to give the bracket or the game?
The game, yeah.
Okay, so the first
First
game,
game.
first game is Friday, December 19th. It's Alabama rematch in Norman, Oklahoma, against Oklahoma.
Alabama is a 1-point underdog as
Yeah.
of now. It looks like the line
So that's a
flipped.
pick 'em.
It's basically
It's
a
a
pick.
pick 'em.
Yeah.
What's weird is Bama's actually favored on the money line, but a +1,
Yeah.
which I've never really seen.
It's
You
like a
don't
base-
really ever
that's
see
weird.
that. Yeah.
That is strange.
Venables
Start with you,
seems to
Ross.
have DeBoer's number. The last 2 times
does.
there, you got and see the problem I've had with Bama all year, and this is when I always and again I'm old,
They
so
can't
the
run the
younger
ball.
people are going to have to excuse me. Can you run the ball? And can you stop the run? Bama can't run the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen him run the football.
I mean,
they're not
we
going
saw
to
that
run.
case
And
in point
Oklahoma's going to
against
be
the Georgia.
sky high. Material will be healthy. So you got to like Oklahoma. But I will say this: it is tough to beat a team, as we see in the NFL, because sometimes we have to beat teams 2 or 3 times. It's tough to beat somebody twice. But the game is in Oklahoma. Simpson looked really bad against Georgia. That Georgia team, when they turn it on,
They go to
and
another level.
Stockton's doing what he's doing.
Whatever he
Yeah.
wants.
I saw them do that
They-
to Texas in the 4th quarter. They did it to Bama. See, I think if they do that, and again, when you're working, and this is not my term, he says a lot of criminals play in football. So but when you're working with criminals, they're like that. Like when they're on, they're trouble.
The Georgia team, Georgia's is the one team this year though. How they looked against Bama, I was like, that's the national championship team right there.
If you watch them in the
100% agree.
fourth quarter
That's
against
why
Texas in the Bama game, nobody had
No,
a
I'm
performance.
just saying how they looked against Bama.
No, well, the Bama in the fourth quarter against Texas.
and how bad Bama looked against Georgia.
Yeah.
And
that's why I would have left Bama out.
They couldn't run the ball, like you said, time and time again.
When you
And their
get beat,
defense
if
didn't look great
you're
either.
gonna keep BYU out, and BYU looked bad against Texas Tech, I get
Oh, sorry.
And I don't, and because we're only going with 12, I just would have given one of the 2 win teams a shot. I don't like seeing somebody, and know this about Bama. Vanderbilt could have beat them.
Yep.
See, Bama and Texas are
turned it
3
over
loss
in the red
teams,
zone
but they
twice.
could have had 4 or 5 losses.
We were watching the game. We were going to the Michigan SC
They
game.
turned it over
Missouri
twice, dude.
made that a game.
Yeah, Missouri had them on the rope. See, Simpson.
Bama was a week ago. They
LSU
almost
almost
lost
beat
to
them.
Auburn.
You know what
Yeah,
Simpson?
they beat Auburn
Yeah.
by 7.
When the committee bumped him up a spot,
Yeah, I
they
know.
put him over Notre Dame, and that Auburn team I think had 6 losses or something like that. They were.
7.
There's no rules with that committee.
Okay, so you got Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I got Oklahoma.
I got Oklahoma.
Yeah, and
First.
again to the
First.
I don't really like picking games because I get people. I don't want
You don't have
anybody
to-
betting
you
on
don't
what
have
I
to
say.
apologize. Just you're good.
You
Who
got
you got
bigger
first?
picks. It's a show.
You
Yeah,
got
but you
OU?
guys
I got Alabama winning this game.
He's been on that all year. I give him credit.
The first time that they
Okay.
played, the only reason Oklahoma won is because they had 2 big turnovers. Alabama had 2 big turnovers that gave them field position on their own side. They had a punt return that they got inside the 20.
Mateer did nothing in that game. You're correct.
OU's offense is terrible.
Yeah,
I
well,
think their offense sucks.
But I
It's-
think their
they
defense,
can't run the ball
but I
either.
think their defense
No.
is good enough to stop.
But when Mateer
Alabama.
is healthy, he is a
Yeah, they
problem.
beat him already.
He's a problem.
The only time Oklahoma wins, which has been most times this season, is because of their defense and special teams. It's never been, their offense won.
And whatever Mateer cobbles together, he'll
Yeah.
make a throw, and he's
Usually
also
a run.
dangerous with his legs. Yeah,
I think he's a one-man team on
Well,
offense.
but that can be that Bama Oklahoma. Well, there's a reason it's a 1-point game. It's a tricky ball game.
And like you said, it's hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Bama played as bad as they could that game. They had, I think, 3
It's in Norman,
turnovers
too.
to 0.
Well,
or
they
3
were
to
worse
1.
against Georgia than they were against. So they were really.
But
bad
I think
against
Georgia's
Georgia.
much better than Oklahoma.
Yeah, Georgia
Much
had a little
better.
bit something to do with that. Yeah.
So I think this, it's like playing them again. They're going to figure something out to win this game.
And having said that, Bama beat Georgia by 3
yeah.
earlier in the year.
But
they won that game though.
Yeah, true, but they didn't score in the second half. Georgia figured them
Yeah,
out,
no,
and they hit the
in
field
five
goal.
in like 6 quarters. Bama's done nothing against Curtis Stupid's defense.
And that's why
And
I didn't
Curtis
think
Stupid
they
will
should
get pretty smart here if he can win a national championship.
That's why I didn't think Bama should have made the playoffs. I know they beat Georgia once. That's their one loss, right? But again, a win's a win.
Yeah.
If we're going to highlight Miami for being Notre Dame, we got to say the same thing. But to play devil's advocate, I thought it was a bad win. I thought Georgia figured them out, and
Well,
if
see,
there
this
was 5
is
more minutes, I
why
think they
this
would've
is
won.
why I get into and this. We don't have this in the NFL. You win your division. We go
You're
by
right.
records, and there is a win is a win, and it just should count that. But the
Well,
way
yeah, it's
in college
like
football,
the
we get
Cardinals
good wins, bad wins. We get good losses, bad losses.
It's,
No,
it's
that's
like the
true.
Cardinals
It's
being
crazy.
the Rams
Okay,
last week.
next game,
Yeah.
Miami at A&M. This is
I do
Both-
want to. Not
both
to cut
teams
you
have
off. I
beaten
do
Notre
want to say this. Historically, Bama is a franchise team. They're kind of like the Dodgers. Like you can't just beat them. You're gonna have to kill them.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So-
DeBoer is different. If you look at his record, well, he's lost
he's
more
made
games
it.
in 2 years
If this
than Nick
was-
Saban and
No, but
Bear
if
Bryant.
this was,
Yeah.
if this was Saban's
Oh,
Bama's,
yeah. No,
Well, he's made a
Probably
national
undefeated in the
championship.
but this is
DeBoer's
not a
made
Saban
national
or Bear
championship.
Bryant. You probably never saw Bear Bryant's teams.
No.
DeBoer is not those guys.
He's
Now,
ma- he's
Bama
made
has
a
great
national
players.
championship,
Bama has
though.
great players. In this year's recruiting class, per player, highest rank per player, Alabama and Oregon really have the two. I know everybody's going on about SC because they're number 1, but SC, it's numbers. They brought in a bunch of
All right,
3-stars.
next game. Miami at Texas A&M. Who do you have?
Well, I'm going to go with Texas A&M because Cristobal.
So Texas A&M's -4,
It dropped to 3.5.
3.5, 4, depending on where you go. 51.5 for the total.
John?
I'm gonna go A&M.
Russ?
I said I picked
Oh,
A&M.
yeah.
I don't like Cristobal, the Miami coach.
You go.
I'm going A&M, even though they haven't played anyone, but I think they
Miami,
beat Miami again.
Miami probably has the better players. They have a pass rush guy and an offensive tackle
Yeah.
that'll go in the top 15, 20 picks
I
in
think
the
their
draft.
pass rush Bain. He's going to be
Yeah,
top
Bain.
5.
I don't like him because he's short for a DN, but he's highly regarded. The kid that's the right tackle, I think, is going to be an outstanding NFL guard. They got a mauler at that right tackle. Texas A&M's defense is really bad. And Arkansas put up a lot of points on them. South Carolina killed them in a half.
So it's on Beck then. If Beck throws interceptions, it's A&M, right? If he throws,
Yeah,
two
well, see that,
interceptions,
and it's Cristobal and Beck. I don't trust,
Yeah,
and the
Cristobal
game's at
sucks.
A&M.
it's at A&M. That's why I'm choosing A&M. Fair.
I'm going A&M. I think Cristobal's terrible. I love Texas A&M's offense. They have a great offense.
They get it going, when that kid gets going in that spread, but he's hot and cold. Like pop in the South Carolina tape, because in the first half he did nothing.
Yeah.
Then in the second half they went nuts.
It was night and day.
Yes, exactly, and that's Texas A&M. So
we're all on A&M.
So
you
I
got
Miami.
it. We're going with the favorites. You got A&M, except Fernando.
Now that game is in College Station. That's my biggest
they're
thing
at
for
home.
it. That's a big.
How did the home teams do in the playoff last year?
Won
I know
every game.
Oregon lost. Oregon lost.
No, Oregon was not the home game. Oregon was the Rose Bowl.
Oh, was that the Rose Bowl?
That was the Rose Bowl, second round.
That was basically a home game.
But it was not. It was not in Oregon's home stadium. Every home team won last year.
I don't
does
trust that landing either.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to take the 26 with James Madison.
Okay,
It's
It's 21 now.
the next game.
21. Oh, some people are betting James Madison.
It'd be funny if they beat them.
No,
great.
it would not totally shock me.
That'd be kind of cool. Okay, Tulane at Ole Miss minus Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss is 17 and a half. Totals 56 and a half, depending where you
I
go.
think Ole Miss can get that on their own.
Who do you like, Fern, in this game?
Ole Miss big time. They're going to cover. They beat them 45
45
to 10.
10, yeah.
Who do you like, Jesiah?
I'm going Ole Miss too. I know Tulane made it, but they don't have a defense. They were scoring combined 60, 70 points every game. So that shows that even though they score, the teams they're playing get a lot of points. Ole Miss is going to destroy them. I'll take the 17.
I'm gonna take the plus 17 with Tulane. I'm riding the green wave.
That's the public play.
They Ole Miss almost lost at home to Washington State this year. I think Tulane can. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think they can cover. And Ole Miss doesn't have their coach. I could see that being a problem.
It could be a problem.
I'm going to go with Ole Miss because, what he's talking about, I get it. But what I look at is the Ole Miss players are actually happy that Lane Kiffin is
Really?
gone. Oh, Kiffin, they came out and talked about everything Kiffin said, no surprise, was a lie.
He's not
at his
well-liked?
No, well, all the defensive players, I might add, came out and said, well, that wasn't said in the room. So I can tell you the Ole Miss defense, and they will be coached by their defensive coordinator. Also, Charlie Weiss's boy is still going to stay on as the offensive coordinator.
Coach Chambliss.
Where I see Kiffin, if Ole Miss gets past Tulane,
How do you say the Ole Miss's quarterback? How do you say his name?
I can't. He's from Ferris State.
I know.
I can't remember what
Tony
his name.
Reese. Tony Reese's guy.
One of my. Where I see the Kiffin missing is if Ole Miss gets by Tulane, and they get in a bigger ball game, because I do think Kiffin would make adjustments like at halftime. Like say they're playing Georgia, or Texas Tech, or Alabama, Ohio State, somebody like that. Kiffin would know how to attack that Ohio State defense. And I don't know, Charlie Weiss's boy, well, I would assume he's got some of those skills too, but I don't know if he's as good. I don't like Lane Kiffin.
Not, yeah.
But Kiffin is a good play caller, offensive coach. I think it will hurt them when they play somebody. But how do you bet Tulane when we played this game?
There's
and it was
no
a
way you
5?
could bet Tulane.
I would either say if you don't like Ole Miss, stay off the game.
All right,
we'll see what happens.
Next game, James Madison in Eugene, Oregon against the Fighting Ducks.
I don't even think we need to go over.
Oregon's
Yes.
21, 50 and a half.
You got to go with Oregon. Although, was it 26 and it's been bet down?
No.
It
There's
was like it opened at 21 and a half. It dropped
Okay,
to
so it's
21.
only been down a half, yeah.
Oregon is going to roll them.
Oregon all year against that sort of team, like a lower level team,
They
they've
play down.
blown. That's one of the reasons everybody has such high regard for Oregon. Now, my problem with Oregon is when they played Penn State, when they played Indiana, when they played.
Even SC, they didn't look great.
Yeah, SC was a tighter game
close
than what
game.
I expected. I thought Oregon. I don't know how good
Oregon at the
is.
time when they played Penn State, they still had their QB, they still had their coach. Penn State was still Penn State.
They were undefeated.
They were, but then you still can't ignore the other games and the Iowa game. Oregon actually should have lost. That game. That was a Kurt Ferentz special. Now Iowa does that to people. Iowa almost did that to Indiana.
Ferentz will pull one of those.
Iowa almost did that. Indiana could have lost at Iowa very easily. But see, my thing is when you go down to that Indiana team and you play like that, you're probably not a national championship team, which is why I've kind of written Indiana and Oregon off in terms of winning the national championship.
There's been a lot of people on them.
I would have liked to have seen Ohio State have to play Iowa this year. They didn't have to do Ohio State, like I say, somehow.
They never played.
Well, Michigan wasn't any good.
So we're all on Oregon in that game.
Yeah.
Okay, next game.
Next game we got Oklahoma for you, Mr. Campa. You have Oklahoma at Indiana or wherever that bowl game's at.
I think that's in the Rose Bowl.
What are you saying?
For the next round, he would have Oklahoma
Yeah,
versus
if you
Indiana.
pick Oklahoma as a winner, they got Indiana.
Oklahoma plays the winner
In
of the
your
Alabama
bracket.
Oklahoma game
Yeah.
goes.
Or
In your bracket, you have Oklahoma. Who do you have winning that game?
and that's in the Rose Bowl.
Decided to.
Where's that game at?
I'll get
That.
it.
It should be on ESPN.
I think it's in the Rose Bowl. It is because
Yes, it's a
it'll
Rose
be
Bowl.
Indiana's first
It's
appearance
Rose
in the
Bowl.
Rose
It's
Bowl
confirmed.
since '67. Jim Grabowski was on that '67 team.
So it's
I like Oklahoma in that game. I think their defense is going to give Indiana trouble. And, one of the things about Oklahoma, I wanted to say this on the Oklahoma-Alabama game, Oklahoma's a problem. Because you're right. They don't run the ball, and Mateer, I don't know if his hand's healthy and all that. They got trouble scoring, but they got no problem. If that's a 10-7 game in the third, fourth quarter, and it's ugly,
really comfortable, unlike Ohio State.
yeah, and we need a blocked field goal.
Indiana.
Now, Indiana won that sort of game against Ohio State, but how much is Oklahoma? Well, we don't know how much
We
they're
don't know
getting because the
You
game.
got to see the game.
Yeah,
So
I
you
would.
got Oklahoma.
I'll go with Oklahoma, but I don't know what the point spread is.
I'm sure Indy will be favored by probably 5.5.
Yeah, I'd take the 5.5.
I like
John, do you have Oklahoma as well versus Indiana?
I like Oklahoma, and I think that'll be the best defense all season Indiana would have seen.
I agree.
They probably are better than that Ohio State defense.
I think they're a top 3 defense, honestly. Jesiah, who do you have in that?
I got Indy.
See, if you're going to tell me I'm getting 5.5, because what that game's going to be like I mentioned Penn State.
Although if you want to go
Iowa,
comparative opponent, Michigan did beat. They got 11 against Oklahoma, and then we got 9 against Ohio State.
Now,
no,
Jesiah,
I'm
why
joking.
do you like
That's
Indiana over Oklahoma?
I'm believing in the Cuban Missile. I'm believing in their team. If we're calling it a slow paced game, a grind out type of game, we just saw them take care of
it's the
business.
5.5 points I'm focused on.
Well,
that's a field goal.
We don't
game.
know. We don't know what the spread's going to be. But the
I
point
think
I'm
your
making
number's
is,
pretty good.
But the point we're making is we just saw
It might
Indiana
actually be a little low.
win. We saw Indiana win when they were down in the game. They came back. It's not like they were beating Ohio State the whole game. They came back in that game, and then they still were able to stop Ohio State.
But how many Ryan Day games have you watched? Because see, I know the Ryan Day recipe.
Last year, this year, maybe.
Like last year,
15.
going into that Michigan Ohio State game, and like everybody else, I didn't give Michigan any chance against Ohio State last year. But like I told John Ross, if Michigan gets this to the second half, if you get Ryan Day in a close game, because special teams come into
they found a way
play,
to lose.
play calling comes into play. So I mean, Indiana won. Signetti, I think Signetti's probably a better coach than Day myself.
Yeah,
and I do think Mendoza's a better NFL prospect than saying. But the truth is, 13-10, nobody scored any points. And I don't really trust either of those defenses. They're both undersized. The one thing that stunned me a little bit about that Indiana-Ohio State game, Ohio State looked slow to me in that game. Like their offensive line had real trouble.
They were bad in that game.
Yeah, but you get it against some of them SEC teams.
It was their toughest game of the year, and look, they weren't ready for it.
And that's another thing. They couldn't prepare because they didn't play anybody all year. Which is why we need to get a schedule. If you play somebody when you get in these games, this isn't the first time I got in against somebody.
That's why the SEC wins so much, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's another. That's what I say.
Now I picked Bama over Oklahoma. Now in the Rose Bowl, I know this is familiar territory for Bama. I'm going to still believe in them. I'm going to go Alabama.
Oh, I could see Bama beating Indiana too if that game happens.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
So I'm going to go.
Bama's
Alabama.
got some players, but DeBoer doesn't. See, a lot of those guys were recruited by Nick Saban. And one of the reasons he left was you can't control them. You guys probably don't know who this Proctor kid is that I'm talking about. He knows who he is.
Played in the Rose
I'm
Bowl
telling
against
you,
Michigan.
that's a kid. If you can keep him out of the bar and away from the women, the strip clubs, he's the best prospect. I mean, 6'7", 360. The kid caught a touchdown.
You saying Alabama's varsity blues too?
No, but they're well, these SEC teams. It's how they roll. When Kirby Smart won his last national championship, they killed 2 kids at a drag racing event right after the game.
That's true.
Didn't the Browns run the same play that they ran in Waterboy?
Okay.
I'm not joking.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what.
I think they ran the same play.
I think wants out of Cleveland.
I think they ran the
he
same
wants to
play as
leave
Coach Klein
because he ran that play.
Oh yeah, it was unbelievable.
That play against.
So you have Bama.
I have Bama beating Indiana.
Yeah. So we we all got Indiana going home after the first round.
Well, I have Indiana winning.
Oh no,
Okay,
Jesiah,
that's
okay.
right.
Okay,
Now,
I believe
next
in the
game
Cuban
down, we do have the Orange Bowl. We have Texas Tech versus Oregon. All of us have that matchup. Well, obviously, it's Texas Tech's first game after the bye. All right, I'll start it off. I'm going to go with who I think is arguably a top 2 team in the country. I think Texas Tech is going to get the win here and advance to the semifinal. I don't think Oregon has what they're going to have to travel cross country.
That's
I think
The spread will probably be 6.5.
I think Texas Tech's defense is a lot better. I think they have the better quarterback, although people are really high on Dante Moore. I think Morris is a lot better. I'm going to go with Texas Tech. I think they have the best overall team in that bracket.
Jesiah?
I'm going with Tech 2. I think their 2 wins against BYU is a great look at how they're going to manhandle Oregon. I think if the spread is 6.5, 7.5, I'm taking the point. I'm taking Tech, by a touchdown. So I think it's BYU and Oregon are very comparable in my opinion. That's what I'm going off of.
Okay. I would say this is the best game of the playoff that we've
so
talked
far
about
of the ones I've heard. Yeah.
I'm leaning Tech, but I could see Oregon. I want to see more against this Tech defense. It's gonna be a fun matchup. I'll go.
Tech has got pass rush.
I know. I want to. If he has a big game,
Tech has an undersized kid.
If he's the real deal, he can make himself money.
Oh, I know. The kid's he's from Stanford.
No, I'm talking about Moore, the quarterback. If he has a big game,
well, I'm going to comment because Fernando.
You're going to go, but I think I'm going to go Texas Tech just for their D line. I'm going to take Texas Tech. Go Red Raiders.
All right.
Fernando's hit the key point here. What you have. Dante Moore is the current flavor because he's 6'4", 230. I would say this: pop in his Indiana tape before you all jump on him because he threw a pick 6 in that game. That's terrible. Now the Morris kid, he reminds me more like that Howard kid Ohio State had last year. I don't think Morris is going to be an NFL starter or this super quarterback. He's too small, whatever. Doesn't have a big arm, but he manages the game right. And the game will come down to how those quarterbacks play. And this kid I'm talking about from that Tech got from Stanford, in my opinion, he's the best pass rush guy. They go on about the kid from Auburn and the Bain kid from Miami. The thing about the Texas Tech kid is he is only 250, but he got a bunch of sacks at Stanford. See, this kid's smart. Texas Tech is a problem. Let me say this about Texas Tech. Texas Tech spent $27 million. They should have the best team. Yeah. But I'm actually
that oil money, which John, you've been saying all year. They got that oil money.
Now they're spending big money.
Now
they're a real player.
They other than BYU, and they also the other game where Texas Tech got me. They went into Utah. And they just
took them apart.
And that usually doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Utah, not at home. Utah can get into trouble on the road.
Utah in that game.
And
I think we'll have Utah actually.
And then what my question is Lanning going to come out and be ready to play? They've had some problems at Oregon. They had a 5-star receiver they had to get rid of because of his off the field problems. My problem with Lanning is for an SEC guy, I always look at Oregon and they always seem soft to me. Like you can run on them a little bit. I don't know. Oregon's got players. They have paid Phil Knight. Oh, Texas Tech.
Okay.
But Oregon has got players. They've paid guys. Dante Moore may be From I hear from NFL people, if he declares, which I hear is not going to happen, I guess Phil Knight's going to open the checkbook and keep him there another year. But if Maher declares, he would go over Mendoza. From what I hear on the NFL people, they like him. No, I've heard that. There's a lot of NFL people. I don't see
He's
it.
got a bigger arm.
I don't see it. Moore has physical traits.
Yeah. Sellers has those traits
The
too.
problem with Mendoza, though, is he doesn't have. I mean, he is 6'5", 225, but he doesn't. Moore has a better arm.
Got you.
So that's what they're talking about.
What's the next game?
Next game would be, let's start with John Ross this time. It would be A&M versus Ohio State, and that game would be the Cotton Bowl.
So that's a home game for Texas A&M. Wow. In that game, I have to go Ohio State because it's probably going to be a shootout, but it wouldn't shock me in any game that's close, even if it's a high-scoring game, if Ryan Day had a misstep and they could get beat. It's certainly a game.
Or
Ohio
if their
State
kicker
could
misses
lose.
a field goal.
Yeah.
A chip shot.
There's ways, but I watched A&M a lot this year. They didn't beat Notre Dame because of their defense. They outscored them, and Notre Dame missed an extra point. I also watched them against Arkansas, and Arkansas could put up points, but Arkansas was scoring at will against them. I think
Not just Arkansas, South Carolina put up points.
I think Ohio State could. You would think if Ohio State can't get 30 points in that game, there's a problem.
They're getting
there.
40.
I think 40
And
and 50.
for everything I just
possible.
said about Jeremiah Smith and the other kid,
They're going to run all over.
well, Texas A&M can't stop.
So my
anybody.
pick though is I'm going Ohio State. In that.
Yeah, you almost.
Ohio
Yeah,
State.
how's Texas A&M going to stop it? Now let me say this. It's going to be 45-41. If that game comes down to a field goal, I do not trust.
Fielding.
Though Ohio State has the 107th ranked special teams in the country. They're no good. They lost that Indiana game because of special teams. And if they get in that sort of a tight game. But to me, this is why you have Ryan Day, because this is four wides, and it is the Cotton Bowl. I suspect it'll be cold, but it'll be dry. You'll have a fast track down there.
Yeah.
But Texas A&M can score too. So I think Ohio State, but I actually think Ohio State wins that game like 38-21. I think they're going to put up their points, and I think their defense will slow down.
Oh yeah,
Texas A&M. They'll give that kid, the Texas A&M quarterback, he'll struggle in that game because Patricia's going to come at him with that NFL gimmicky stuff. I like Mike Elko, and it is a home game.
Yeah.
What's the spread in that game?
Well, we don't know yet.
That's just our. This is just our bracket. We're just anticipating.
Would Ohio State actually be a favorite in that game?
I think they would.
Yeah.
I think they would. If I had to guess a spread, I would probably put Ohio State 5.5.
Yeah.
Like a number.
See, I would take Ohio State.
Who do you have, Jesiah?
I'll take Ohio State. I know we all just shout Ohio State for an hour, but I think
Well, it's matchups though. It's matchups, and as I say, I'm
think
not a
Ohio
fan.
State.
It's not that I hate. I feel sorry for Ohio State people. I think they could get a coach from their state. I was around for Woody Hayes.
Yeah.
Jim Tressel.
They hate Jim Harbaugh, but he is from
Oh,
Ohio.
one of the Harbaughs would never lose at Ohio State. Just
But
run the ball,
anyway.
play defense, special teams.
I'll
Brady
take
Hoke's
Ohio
available.
State.
I don't know if he's good enough, but
Anyway.
they could get a guy.
Who do you have, Fern?
I'm sorry.
I think the-
Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. I'll take Ohio State for everything you just said, Ross. Their running or their wide receivers should all have over.
They'll go
100
nuts.
yards.
You think they would be,
They're gonna go-
motivated? Are you paying attention? You should be motivated.
Well, and they did this last year. It's
Yeah.
not out of the realm that Ohio State wins this championship again. There are three teams. Two of these three, I just
The only
want
thing
to
about
see
that
them play.
game though against Indiana, I didn't like. They sacked Sand 5
Yeah,
times.
but look at how they looked against Michigan last.
We didn't get 5.
One thing I'll say
we didn't
about
get 5 sacks.
the one
on
thing,
Howard.
the difference to me is
We didn't get 5
Indiana did
sacks.
this with James Madison kids.
Yeah.
Michigan did it with Mason Graham,
Yes.
number 4 in the first round. Kenneth Grant, number 13. Well Johnson, who went high in the second round, would have went in the top 10 picks, but for a knee injury. And Michigan had Colston Loveland at tight end. See, I don't know how many This is another thing people don't look at. And I don't know, Indiana, other than Mendoza, when you look at that team, the pros aren't jumping out of their shoes like the rest of those guys. And even Ohio State, they have some guys, the 2 receivers and the Downs kid, but this is not a loaded team where you've got first round draft picks.
Actually, somebody in the comments on our TikTok said they have 5 first-round picks.
No.
Okay,
Who?
then. Yeah.
Anyway,
Caleb Downs.
No, Downs is first round pick.
Yeah. In your hypothetical.
I think Buckeyes are going to roll them. If I had to pick, even if they play Miami, I would just take over on Ohio State total points. I think they're gonna kill them.
Okay.
They don't have a defense. The A&M.
Yeah, no, that against a Ryan Day
If
team,
they
if
end
you're
up
coming
playing
in there, Ryan Day used to put up 60 on the Don Brown. He didn't have a defense. He knew how to beat it.
Now we'll start with Jesiah on this one. We have Georgia and Ole Miss on all our brackets.
Oh, I'm going Georgia all the way.
They played that game already, didn't they, this year? Didn't Georgia beat Ole Miss already this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that was in Georgia.
Georgia scored like 40 something.
Well, like I say, with Georgia, I'm probably going to ride them through the whole tournament. And it's one of those things. If Kirby Smart, we're in bed, we had our milk and cookies last night, Georgia's going to win. Now, if they were at the strip club, drag racing, smoking a little doobie or some of that spice or whatever.
The game is Georgia Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go Georgia.
Yeah.
Who do you have? Side.
Yeah, same.
Georgia.
I got Georgia all the way.
Okay.
Yeah, there's really not much for us to even really cover.
If it breaks that way, though, Georgia, Texas Tech, and Ohio State all get to the next.
Kick. 12 seconds left. Cameron Decker to tie the game against the Eagles for the Chargers.
Dicker the kicker.
He made it.
We're going to OT.
Most likely overtime. Okay, next game, Fern.
All right, so we all have Georgia, right?
Yeah.
All right, now we have. Let's start with you, John.
Just in the
Let's get
Georgia
through
Ole
these
Miss.
guys. Come
One
on.
thing though with Georgia Ole Miss, where was that game at?
Where would that game be
What
at?
bowl was
Sugar
that?
Bowl.
Oh,
The Sugar Bowl.
yeah, I'm going to go with Georgia.
The Fiesta Bowl,
Oh,
I
no,
think. Fiesta Bowl.
No.
Oh, Fiesta.
Oh, yeah, Sugar Bowl.
Sugar Bowl.
Sugar Bowl.
I got it.
I'm going to go with Georgia, even though Ole Miss.
That's not bad for Ole Miss.
That's what I was going to say. That's why I wanted to check that. They got home field advantage.
All right, John, we'll start with you on this. So in your Final Four, you have OU versus Texas Tech.
Tech, easy.
You got Texas Tech?
Yeah.
Mr. Campo, you have...
I'm going to go
you
with
and
Tech too, although I think, I'm a defensive guy. Venables can make any game messy, but Tech has, they're going to
Answers.
score. That quarterback for Tech takes care of the football.
And that's the Cotton Bowl.
No, it's
Capital One Orange Bowl, I'm sorry.
Yes, they're supposed to be neutral site when they get to the semifinal, which was that or quarterfinal? Is that a quarterfinal?
Quarterfinal, right?
Yeah. I think from the quarterfinals on, they're all supposed to be neutral.
Josiah, we have Indiana versus Texas Tech.
I got Tech.
All right. And then I have Alabama versus Texas Tech. DeBoer's been on a roll, so I'm going to go with Tech. I'm going to go with Texas Tech.
Oh, you're finally getting rid of it?
See, I think if that game happens,
I think
Fernando,
Texas Tech
that's
is
a
so
prop.
I think Texas Tech wins by double digits.
Yeah,
If
we all
that
got Tech.
happens.
Yeah.
We all have Tech in the semifinal.
Yeah.
Okay, next game for...
All right, now we'll start with Mr. Campo on this one. So you have Ohio State versus Georgia at the Fiesta Bowl in Phoenix.
You got to go with Georgia in that game. But again, will Georgia show up and play? If you think that Indiana pass rush, and I'll tell you something else about Georgia, they can run the shit out of the ball too. When Georgia gets it
They
going,
got
when
speed too.
that Gunner Stockton, they're running the ball. They got the tight ends, the receiver.
Zach Rice.
They have the personnel. But again, will they show up? But I got to go. And I would think Georgia would probably be I don't know. They might make Ohio State a small favorite. That'll probably be around a pick 'em type.
Yeah,
it'll
that's
be
like a 1.5, 2
yeah.
maybe.
max.
Josiah, you have
Same teams.
same teams. You have Georgia, Ohio State.
Yep, I'm going Georgia. I'm riding the wave too. John?
Do I
I
have the
think
same game?
you have the same teams.
I'll go Georgia. I don't really...
It's going to be a
hard to-
dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight. And
Well, I believe in the Bulldogs.
I think Georgia can win in more ways than Ohio State.
here's the
can.
game.
That's why I
The
go
game
Georgia.
to me, they talk about these comparison games, and normally I don't. But I watched what Ohio State did against Texas. I watched that game, and then I watched what Georgia did to Texas.
Yeah.
And Georgia just wore Texas down. And Ohio State, they beat Texas, but it was because
wasn't
Arch
convincing.
Manning and Steve Sarkisian were so inept
Yeah.
in that game.
I
what's
totally
the next
agree
game?
with that. And
Well,
then
it's
yeah.
first pick.
What's
Then
your-
we all have the same thing. Ohio State, Georgia. I'm gonna go Dogs by 30. Dogs.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll win by that much.
If you're
but-
saying it's a dogfight, Ross, I'm taking the Bulldogs in the dogfight.
Yeah, well, no, it could. The last time Day went up against Smart, what was that, 41-40? Ohio State missed the 50-yard field goal. See, this is the thing
Yeah,
with
that was a great
Day.
game.
You get in these close games, you got to have a kicker, you got to play special teams. There's penalties, discipline. How are you defensively in this game? Ryan Day works with the quarterback
But
and
I
the
also
receivers.
I don't think Ohio State is going to see a team like Georgia.
Oh no, nobody in the Big Ten
They
seen
haven't
a team
seen a team like Georgia
no.
all year.
Or Texas Tech.
Like if you
for
think
that matter.
Indiana can kind of rough you up, I mean Georgia could rough
That's
you
literally
up.
what they do.
Yeah, I mean that's
Anyway, fair. What's
All right,
next game?
so we got the national championship. We all have this. All four coincidentally have the same bracket in the final four.
Texas Tech, Georgia.
Texas Tech and Georgia. Let's start with you, Mr. Campo.
I'm going to go with Georgia, but that's really, if I get that game, I'll actually
it's
watch that game because I want to see that game. There's a lot of pro prospects in that game. That pass rush guy for Texas Tech could be a special kid. The kid out of Stanford that they got there.
I will in that game. Where's the national championship at? It's in Miami.
Miami.
So neutral site.
Pure neutral game there for the most part. Probably
Maybe
a little for Georgia.
Yeah. At least it's
All
not
right.
in Atlanta.
I have to go Georgia.
All right.
Begrudgingly, although I want to see how these teams look too. I want to see how.
Yeah, this is just our
when you're making a
Georgia.
prediction like
Yeah.
this, well, first of all, we basically,
It
I
is
guess
crazy
we
we
haven't
don't
gone chalk because we don't have Indiana or Iowa
I know,
State.
right?
And the Big Ten is going to love us.
We're
But you
actually
do want to
taking
see
the
how
3 and 4
like
teams,
if
not even
our
the top
Georgia and
2.
Tech just steamrolling
Yes,
everybody. Did they
exactly.
struggle? Were they lucky to
Injury,
get there? Yeah. Somebody gets
Like if Tech
Smart lost his quarterback last year, and there went any shot you had.
If Tech beats Oregon by like a last second field goal, I'm not going to be as high on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything could happen though.
Yeah.
Jesiah.
I'm going Georgia. Go Bulldogs. Let's go Criminals.
All right.
Jordan,
I personally would like to see Texas Tech win it all, just
That'd be
because
crazy.
they've never won. I want them, but I'm going to pick the Dogs. to
Texas
win it all.
Tech did spend the most on their roster,
They did.
Money matters.
and so if they do end up winning it, I think that'll be a statement about where we're at. Although the Kentucky basketball team has kind of set that theory back with their performance, but
Now start with just projection of final score, Jesiah. What would you have it at?
Final score 31-28 Georgia.
John?
28-24 Georgia, and that's what it's going to be. That's from Waterboy.
Campo, what would you have it
I'd
at?
say 24-21 Georgia. Texas Tech's pretty good defensively.
Remember that scene? Yeah.
Most people have that Texas Tech, their front seven on defense. That's the best front seven in college football.
I'm going to go 27-24 Georgia.
God damn.
Yeah, Kirby's
as far as
smart. I
the-
call him Kirby stupid, but he does take a holistic approach to his football team.
Well, he's got a little bit of saving in him.
I don't know much about this Texas Tech coach.
Now, John, I do want to ask you, who do you have winning, Penn State or Clemson?
That's the bowl game.
Yeah. I said that earlier in the show. I go. Where's it? I'll go Penn State.
Where is that game at?
Doesn't matter. It's probably in some Florida.
What, is
Are the
is-
running backs for Penn State going to play in that game, or are they opting
That's
out?
a
I
good
would imagine
question.
they opt
Fern,
out.
give your bowl. You want to give your bowl picks? You want to go
I
through
mean,
every game?
We can.
Just
quickly.
give them really quick. You don't mean like a rundown.
Boise State, Washington. I mean, Boise State has their quarterback back, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think Washington's going to roll them.
I also like Washington.
Here, I'll give you the play. Just give me the team. All right.
All right.
South Carolina State versus Prairie View.
I'll got to go South Carolina State. They've been resilient all
Boise State against Washington.
UW for sure.
Troy against Jacksonville State.
I'm going to go Jayville State as the underdog.
Old Dominion against South Florida.
South Florida, easy cover.
Louisiana, Delaware.
I like Delaware with the points.
Missouri State against Arkansas State.
I like Missouri State plus money line.
Kennesaw State, Western Michigan.
Kenny State plus money winner, definitely covering the 4.5.
Memphis, NC State.
That's a tough game. I like the total in that, but if I was a betting man,
You are a betting
I'm going
man.
to take NC State.
Washington State, Utah State.
I'm going Wazoo with the plus money.
Toledo, Louisville.
I got to go Louisville.
Western Kentucky, Southern Miss.
Western Kentucky easily.
UNLV, shout out, made a bowl game. Frisco against Ohio.
I got to like UNLV on that.
UNLV.
I like UNLV too.
Shout out Froz.
Cal
At
against
Hawaii.
Hawaii,
I like
in the
Cal.
Hawaii Bowl.
I like Cal -3.
I go Hawaii in that.
Hawaii's
Hawaii.
been playing well this year, though. They could win that
It's
game.
in Hawaii. No way they lose that.
Central Michigan versus the
Frisco
Fighting
said they
Northwesterns.
What was that?
Central Michigan against Northwestern.
I got to go Northwestern to roll them.
I like Central Michigan.
New Mexico against Minnesota.
I'll go New Mexico with the upset.
I like New Mexico in
I
that
do
game.
too.
I like their coach.
FIU
That's what I.
versus Texas San Antonio.
What was that?
FIU, Florida
That
International.
game is kind of a toilet bowl, but I'll go Texas San Antonio.
Okay, Pitt against Eastern Carolina.
I like ECU to cover, but Pitt to win.
Penn State against Clemson.
Ugly. I'm going to go Clemson.
I'm going Penn State.
UConn Army.
UConn.
Oh, that Penn State Clemson game it's the Pinstripe Bowl in New York City. That's where
Oh,
Yankees
wow.
play. That favors Penn State.
That
That's
does
pretty
big
dope.
time. It's
There'll be a
right
lot
there.
of Penn State people there for that. Not that matters, but UConn Army.
UConn.
Georgia Tech BYU.
I'm going to go Georgia Tech. I don't think BYU.
That's the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
What's that bowl?
Pop-Tarts
Pop-Tart.
Bowl.
I don't know. That's actually a good game.
It's a good game.
I think BYU might beat them.
I'll take- it's
I'll
minus
take it
3.
back. I'll go to BYU.
But what's tough about you don't know who's going to opt out.
Play.
of these
That's
games.
exactly.
That's what's tough about.
Miami of Ohio, Fresno State.
I'll go my Fresno.
Fresno.
North Texas,
North
San Diego
Texas.
State.
I'm going North Texas. I've been on them all year. I'm not going to back out on
I
the bowl
think
game.
the Chargers just won. Or
No.
No, first drive.
that was the first drive.
That's the first
Okay, so the
drive.
Chargers
Philly-
got kicked their field goal. Eagles get a chance to tie if they
Yeah.
don't. The game's over.
Or no, if the Eagles score a touchdown,
It's over.
It's over. Virginia, Missouri.
Missouri.
LSU against Houston.
Yeah, I like Missouri in that game.
I'll
too.
go LSU to upset them. If everyone plays, I don't know who's playing.
LSU.
Yeah, Nussmeier might sit out. I don't know.
Georgia Southern, Appy State.
I like Appy State.
Nussmeier is no longer in the conversation
As
as
a
a
prospect.
Not even. In fact, some people are saying whether he's draftable.
And last year he was.
Well, no, he would have possibly been the number one guy,
Yeah.
and he was the number one guy going into the season.
Coastal Louisiana Tech.
Cal who?
Coastal.
Oh, Coastal Carolina. No,
Yeah.
I'll go La Tech for sure.
I love their jerseys though, and their
Yeah.
field's amazing.
Tennessee versus Illinois. It's a good game.
10.
USC TCU. That's a good
I
game.
like SC.
It's in Texas, Alamo Bowl.
I'll take SC.
They're playing TCU.
Lincoln probably better not lose that game.
That's a dangerous game.
It's only 6. USC's
Well,
only
no,
6.
we've seen
That's tough.
Michigan go down to play
Yeah.
TCU in Texas. That didn't go too
yeah.
well for little
That's
JJ
right.
and the boys there.
Shout out JJ.
He bounced back. We'll get to him.
Yeah,
Iowa,
he's a bounce
Iowa
back guy.
Vanderbilt. Good game.
I'll go Vandy.
Vandy.
If everyone plays, I'll Vandy.
Who is
that's
Iowa
not, that's
Vandy?
not an easy win,
No,
though.
that's a good game.
Where's
Iowa-
that game at?
It's the ReliaQuest Bowl.
Reliquist, but where at though?
ReliaQuest. It's in Tampa,
Tennessee? Oh.
Tampa Bay, Florida. Raymond James. It's where the Bucks play.
I'm going to go with Vandy in that game, even though Vandy's defense is bad. Vandy competes. That kid for them, he's a kid that's going to get drafted.
Pop,
He's small, but he's
He plays, though.
competitive.
He's a gamer.
He's going to fight.
Arizona State, Duke.
Yeah, I'll go ASU.
Okay, our game, Michigan, Texas.
Texas.
In the Citrus Bowl.
Texas.
Michigan.
Sharoni Moore won't know how to stop Arch.
It's the Cheez-Its Bowl.
Cheez-Its.
I'm the cheesiest. Put me in the game, coach.
Well, you know
Is
John
that
Ross,
the
John Ross is going for Michigan.
I'm rooting for Michigan, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah,
I think
but rooting
Michigan.
and betting are two
I
separate
actually think
things.
Michigan will win. I'll bet Michigan in that game.
What's the spread?
Texas 4.5.
That's a bad number, but I'll take that.
That's a bad line.
I'll take it. I don't think Michigan's very good.
They're not.
Neither is
No.
Texas.
Arch
I
is
think
going to
Texas
have
is
a
coming
big
on
ball
strong.
game.
They're both 9-3.
Yeah.
Arch will have a big ball game in that game. Texas is going to win.
What do you
that
have,
game by a
Si?
touchdown?
I'll go Texas.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nebraska, Utah.
Oh, Utah's going to kill them. That's a Las
don't know.
Vegas Bowl.
yeah. I would take Utah.
I would, if I was creating a line, I would put that at 2 touchdowns.
Dominic
I think Nebraska
Riola's not going to
sucks.
play in that game.
He might transfer out.
Texas Tech. He wants to be Mahomes. Oh, also, by the way, Penn State hired Matt Campbell.
That's a big hire.
He left Iowa State finally.
Well,
Um,
we did
Big move. I mean, it is.
Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Indiana, Michigan State. The Big Ten's changed. There's the SC spending money, Oregon spending money. This idea about the Big Ten, Big Two, Little Eight, how the Big
You
Ten.
guys all got Texas. I got
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up here. There's like Rice, Texas State,
Yeah, just skip those.
Navy, Cincinnati. That's not a bad
I
game.
like Navy.
Arizona, SMU,
Arizona.
Wake Forest, Mississippi State, and
I'll
that's
go
it.
Mississippi State.
All right.
All right, so
To
to
the NFL here.
recap what happened last week in the NFL.
Sure.
Thursday, Lions beat the Cowboys.
That was essentially a elimination
we
game.
were all wrong about that. I think we all had the Cowboys.
We all had the
No,
Cowboys.
I had the Lions.
You did.
I had the Lions with
Okay.
the spread.
I had the Cowboys.
Oh no, I took the Lions too because I said the
Well, no,
two.
you vacillated there. I don't remember what year.
Well, it's
I took
because
the Lions.
they don't lose back to back.
That's what I picked. Yes.
So Lions. You had the Cowboys.
You're a loser.
I think
we'll see what happens with the Rams this weekend. Here.
Hikins didn't really show up.
No, he did not.
He half-assed it.
Titans barely beat the Browns. The Browns had the worst play call to go for 2. It looked like Klein from Waterboy drew it up.
That's
It took
Stefanski.
No, it literally looked like the same play.
It
It ran
was,
a play from a goof movie with Adam Sandler. You've never seen The Waterboy?
You've never seen
You never
Waterboy.
watch stupid shit like that.
It's a great movie. They have high quality H2O. Anyway,
It's a comedy.
Shador Sanders.
He balled out.
He actually had a good game. Sorry, I thought.
Well, let me
something
since we just
happened.
finished the college, that trick play that Day ran against Indiana and didn't get the first down. When you're running trick plays
You're in trouble.
to try to win games,
done.
and that's one of the problems I have with the Lions there. If you can't beat people, it's like what Ohio State, pick up a yard, go score a
All right,
touchdown,
we're in the NFL.
put
Yeah.
Indiana to bed.
Come on.
Anyway, Seahawks manhandled the Falcons. Who cares? Big news: Daniel Jones is out for the season. Colts lose to the
He
Jaguars.
broke his ankle, right?
No, torn Achilles.
Achilles.
He's
Wow.
not only done this season, he's done for next
forever,
year,
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
or a good portion.
And
They're-
Jags essentially seal up their division.
Yeah.
Jags are going to
Oh
make the
no,
playoffs.
no! Houston Texans are going to have something to say
They're
about
not.
that. The
I-
Jags have
I
all
think
the
it's the division.
tiebreakers. The Jags
in my
have all
opinion,
the-
I think they sealed it. I think they got it. I think the
I don't
Texans
agree
still
with
make it.
My prediction. Well, I know Texans are going to win 13 games, so Jacksonville's got to get to 13.
They have a
Texans,
one-game lead.
Texans won't lose
I
the
don't know.
rest of the
I-
year. No.
I think the Jags.
There's a real chance both teams end up at 13-4. That's a real chance, and if that happens, Jacksonville
Jags
will
get the
win.
Jets
Has the
next.
tie.
That's a brutal.
No, Jackson's going to
Easy
beat the
win.
Jets.
I think the Titans
No,
will be brutal.
Houston,
The Jets
Houston
didn't
and
upset
Jacksonville
anyone.
Two
both
wins
have
right
easy
here.
schedules.
And they play the Colts again with no Jones.
Yes.
So they're.
But Houston's got an easy
But they're
schedule
going to get
too.
Phillip Rivers.
Okay,
dude.
keep going.
Vikings kill the Commanders. It looked like Daniels got hurt again. They brought him back with a dislocated elbow.
Yeah. Well,
Looks like
he
hurt
was an
again.
injury problem waiting to happen.
And then
JJ,
Ertz is out for the season.
his knee's done. Yes.
Yep.
Who is?
Yeah.
Ertz.
Yeah. Well, this
Jay-
Washington.
Zach Ertz.
Ertz. Zach
Oh,
Ertz.
Hurts.
No,
Ertz.
Zach Ertz
ERT.
blew
Yeah.
his knee out.
Yeah.
Washington was a bit of a mirage last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Daniels got hot. The roster wasn't there. You could say the same things may be happening with the Bears right now, or even the Patriots, although I think Drake may be a little bit more. I was always worried about Jalen Daniels getting hurt. And now he's got that problem. That Colts injury with Danny Jones, because the Colts were going to tag Jones or extend him.
Yeah.
They don't have a quarterback.
No.
And they
have
traded the
nobody.
2 first-round picks for Sauce, who's out hurt as well.
He's out.
The Colts just didn't. Their season just didn't end. It's not just over this year.
It's
They're
over next
now
year.
back into the quarterback abyss. What do you do?
They are.
Now it's
They
a
went
mess
all in.
Total
with them.
devastation.
Houston and Jacksonville are they're gonna fight that out for that division. Jacksonville I don't trust in the playoffs because I don't trust Trevor Lawrence. That Houston team
The
is
Colts,
a real
though,
problem.
yeah,
No,
the
and
Colts
he's real
get to
sad
20
about
on
the
them.
Colts. The Colts are really on the comeback. I thought Daniel Jones was going to be comeback.
Oh!
I thought Daniel Jones was going to be comeback player of the year. It just sucks how that all turned out. The Colts were.
Well, but
great
that's
Cinderella
football.
story.
We did a
I
real
know.
or fraud show, and
Should
the
you
Colts
really-
are
should
they're
you-
done. Yeah, the
Should
Colts
you
are
really have rolled
Done,
the
too.
dice
Yeah.
with Danny Dimes? Really?
No, it was a
That
gamble.
was a huge gamble,
gamble.
and now it's bit 'em. And
But they
I
got
like.
Riley Leonard.
All right, Josiah, let's get back on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Bills beat the Bengals. Bengals are now eliminated.
They still have a 3% chance, but they're virtually eliminated.
saying there's
they're
a
virtually
chance.
eliminated.
They're-
They have in that division
You never know.
because everybody's going to crown Pittsburgh. I could see Baltimore beating Pittsburgh in 2 weeks. Let's see what Pittsburgh is one of the. Even Baltimore. Baltimore ran for 200 yards.
One
out.
second, we'll get
They
to
ran
that
for
game.
200 and
Yeah,
lost
very
that game.
good. Yes, they did.
And they dropped the
Yeah.
game-winning touchdown.
They took the
thought it
touchdown
was a
away from
catch.
Lively.
I thought it was a catch. Anyway, we'll get to that game. Bills beat the Bengals. You're a big Bengals fan because of Burrow. I wouldn't say you're a fan, but you know,
Yeah,
you
I
like
like
Burrow.
Burrow.
Cincinnati's
sucks
got
because-
Let him go, let him
It
go.
sucks because it looked like Burrow was the real deal, or he is the real deal. The team looked totally different, and I thought they were going to beat the Bills. I had the Bengals winning last week. They
Well,
did cover the
if you
spread.
had the Bengals, you still covered.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I bet them 5.5.
Yeah.
Fair. What do you have to say about the Bengals and Burrow?
It's just unfortunate. If he didn't get hurt, they would probably be winning that division.
He had the 2 picks. What the Cincinnati's doing with him is exactly what the Detroit Lions did with Matthew Stafford. Same thing. Burrow's doesn't have quite the arm that little Matthew has there, but Burrow's a great quarterback. Let him go. Let him go to an organization where you can go win something. Make another trade. Stafford's about done with McVay in Rams. Let the Rams trade for Burrow so McVay can go win a couple Super Bowls.
Do you think that would happen?
Oh,
I don't see them ever getting rid of Burrow.
Oh, I don't know, but that's what Cincinnati should do because they're not going to win a Super Bowl with them. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to happen. They don't have the owner.
No.
Do you have anything to say about the Bills and Bengals?
I mean, neither team had a defense. I wasn't surprised by the outcome.
I'm shocked it was a high-scoring game though. With all that snow, both teams came.
No, but they could. Those guys
the Bills and Bengals.
They
I'm shocked it was high-scoring.
But when Josh Allen's been playing in snow, and so was Burrow.
That Bills team ain't winning the Super Bowl.
No,
they can't stop the run. Their defense isn't any good.
Saints upset the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that was a bad loss. And I wish Ross was here.
Baker came back down to.
See, that's my one gripe with the NFL. I wish they would do what the NBA does, where you just take the top 8. There's no reason the NFC South should have a team in the playoffs.
Well, but those are the rules. A division winner.
No, I know, but
it's kind of what you saw.
You're not getting the best team.
What you saw.
You're not getting the best team.
What you saw in college this year, Duke probably should have been in the playoff. They won the ACC, and I was under the understanding that all 4 Power 5, if you won the conference, you were in. So I don't know how the committee. Of course, we kind of make it up as you go.
They do,
but that's why. So see that in the NFL division championships matter. Yes.
No, but yeah, they might win the division with a losing record.
They may. I don't think they will. I think they'll beat the Panthers. And if the Panthers may beat.
Yeah.
Panthers kicked Green Bay's ass in Green Bay. So if the Panthers win that division, they deserve to be in the playoffs.
So we all had a lot to say. I watched that game. I wanted the Steelers to lose. I want Mike Tomlin fired. Now it looks like they're going to win the fucking division. I get another year of Tomlin and them being mediocre. That's what I have to say about that.
They'll be 8-7 again.
Well, you still need a quarterback.
Well, was the game rigged with the call?
That call was terrible.
I wouldn't say it was a fixed call. I would just say it was a wrong call. Yeah. These guys changed their ruling on what's a catch and what's not a catch every single week.
How was it a touchdown for Fearmouth, though,
a few weeks ago, yeah. So
Freiermuth.
Yeah. Freiermuth, whatever his name is, tied in on the Steelers. I believe they were playing the Packers.
Get him!
He had 2 feet down.
Pick it! That's ball.
Oh, nice. Derwin James.
Jalen Hurts.
Chargers just picked off Hurts at the goal line.
Eagles fans, I told you Jalen Hurts needed to get better. He's regressing. Nick Sirianni.
That's good for
Nick Sirianni. Why didn't Nick kick a 60-yard field goal there? He could have punted. What was he doing?
Keep going.
What's Nick doing?
Keep going, Jesiah.
Anyway, Freiermuth, he caught the ball 2 feet down, and then the ball got loose, but they still called a touchdown. Why is Likely getting penalized for the
So
same
did Freiermuth take steps, or was he stationary? See, I don't even know what a catch is.
It was 2 steps. He caught the ball. He was already in the end zone.
Big win.
He caught the ball 2 steps. Then the ball got hit loose. They still called it a touchdown. But in this game, we saw, I believe it was Likely, or it might have been Mark Andrews. It was one of the tight ends. I forget which one.
No, it was Likely.
Likely, yep.
He's always involved in these
things.
Yeah.
He had 2 steps, 1-2, ball in hands. The ball gets hit out on the 3rd step. And they
Who got that pick? Was that Derwin James?
Hart tipped it, and then Johnson intercepted it.
It's crazy.
Jefferson, excuse me.
He was able to stay in bounds. But anyway, it's just crazy that they change what's a catch, what's not a catch week by week.
Well, both broadcasters, not that this means anything, during the game said it was a touchdown. They thought I thought it was a touchdown.
I thought it was one step. Football move was the term I'm used to. So if this guy took 2 steps, how's that not a touchdown? Oh, incidentally, Eagles fans, this thing just put the Cowboys back in play, and I know the Lions took care.
Well, this is big for the Cowboys.
Let me get to the Lions. You guys, I tell you, you guys want a game this week, the Lions and the Rams. The Lions are going to go out there, and they're going to really take care of the Rams. This just put the Cowboys back in play in that division.
Anything is possible.
All right, keep going.
Dolphins killed the Jets. Dolphins actually have a chance. Playing well. They're in the hunt.
McDaniel has saved his job most likely.
It's crazy. Tua has had a head the last few weeks.
Yep. You know who the Dolphins play next week, don't you?
Who are they playing?
The Chiefs.
That's actually a good.
And who would have thought that the Dolphins are 6-7, the Chiefs are 6-7, and they're going against each other.
Yeah,
Where's that
the NFL,
Miami.
I don't know, but
We'll
we'll
get
get into that.
Yeah.
Fernando, your Raiders covered the spread on a very controversial, possibly rigged call, and I know John wants to talk about it. So Broncos beat the Raiders by 7. The line was 7.5. What do you have? What do you have to say about the Raiders?
I don't.
Open at 8.5.
Your mother got it at 7.
I got so it was 7.5.
But it was 8.5 when it opened.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, the Raiders are just the Raiders, dude. There's nothing I could say. I will say what I saw from Kenny Pickett I liked, but
The books here, though.
Kenny Pickett's nothing.
The books,
no, I'm just saying.
Raiders
he
aren't
looked-
paid to
he
take
looked better
Fernando
than
Mendoza.
Geno's
The
a bit.
books here, though, needed the Raiders to cover.
Well, I'm sure they
Yeah,
did.
the Raiders.
It was like 85% of the
The Raiders
bets were
kicked-
on.
Well, why did Petey Carroll kick the field
with
goal?
like 3 seconds.
Did Petey know that?
No,
Did he have a bet on the
there
game?
was 5 seconds left. You kick the field goal, recover the onside. You have 1 second left to tie it or win the game.
No, yeah. So Carroll, there was
no
logic.
time left, though.
There
They
was-
didn't-
there
they
was
didn't
a
get an
logic.
onside kick, though.
No, big because the kick they took 5 seconds off the clock when really there's probably should have been it just took all 5 seconds.
So there should have been time.
Why didn't they kick the
No,
field
I don't
goal
think so.
earlier?
No, the
Because
field
they
goal
couldn't.
operation takes 3 seconds.
Well, it was
That
a long
operation takes-
one, so it took it was like a 50-something yard.
Oh, why? It was an error?
So they weren't close enough.
Because Denver's dumbass laid on top of the guy, so it gave him 15 extra
So, yeah,
yards.
that's what the
because there was
controversial
no
call was.
timeouts.
So Carroll, that wasn't just a field goal to make it closer. He thought he still had a chance to
To
tie the game.
onside and Hail
I thought
Mary.
there was something with
See, I
that.
don't think so. I don't think he thought there was a chance. There
There's no
was a
time.
controversial call. The refs called.
I don't
and
think it was
Carroll's
controversial.
just playing the game right in front of him. The refs called a. What was it?
delay a game because the guy made
Delay
the
the
tackle.
game.
The
He
Raiders
tackled
had no
him.
timeout,
He
so
was
he
still-
laid on top of him.
He didn't let.
You
He
can't
was
do
still
that.
getting up.
No, he was but he was like holding him down when he was getting
It's
up.
ridiculous.
I mean, the
We'll
Raiders
make
are
a
so
short-
bad. It looks
This
like they're trying
does
to
not. I thought we were going to go down a gambling,
so-
a gambling
Yes,
fix
a
here.
gambling
It felt
thing.
like it.
So
Yeah.
The books needed them.
The
Yeah.
books needed 7. It was the line
Everybody.
was 7.
I saw the Bronco fans here. They were around town. There was a lot of Denver money on that game.
It was unbelievable. They called a delay of the game. The guy tackles him. He's still getting up, and they called a delay.
I think one of the casino executives called down and said, "Just kick the field goal. We need the points right now." I'm joking, but
the refs,
it did
I
look
do
bad.
think
That Eagles offense, they have more money in that offense than any other
They
team.
just scored
Ross,
19 points in
Ross,
overtime.
so them calling that delay a game that allowed because it would have been the end of the game. It was a pass in the middle of the field, and it would have been there was no timeouts. It would have
Well,
called
this
the game.
stuff with the gambling,
It's crazy.
I used to brush it off, but after we've seen this with these college
Who think's a
kids,
better coach, Ed? Sirianni or Harbaugh? Jim Harbaugh.
Jim's better, but I'm no big Jim Harbaugh fan
Okay.
either.
Now that wraps up.
Yeah.
But seeing this live, watching the game live, I mean, I hope we lose every game because right now we're the number 1 pick, and I've been saying I want us to lose every game. Just watching it live, I even said it. That's delay a game, and then the flag came out. So it's like I'm rooting for us to lose, but I saw the call. I don't.
So you
see,
thought it was all legit?
I don't see how it's controversial. Like the
Okay.
guy clearly was holding him down.
I didn't think he was holding him down. I didn't.
But he was. You were there, right?
No, I wasn't. I was
Okay.
flying back.
Was your uncle there?
Yeah, he was there.
Okay, but you knew somebody at the game. I don't know. I'll believe it.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway, Rams beat the Cardinals. Packers beat the Bears. I had Packers 6.5. I liked the line. I thought the line said something that they really expected the Packers to take care of business, and they did.
I don't
Yes, by a hook.
I don't like.
Hey, the hook's a hook. I said
taking the hook is never bad, but
I had Packers by a touchdown.
they didn't dominate that game. And if
No.
Caleb Williams had ran
He
the right
almost
play,
threw-
it's
he
funny you
almost threw
bring that up
50%
because people were looking at the tape. Caleb Williams had a touchdown on that final play. He threw the pick on. He went to the wrong guy. But the Bears have that's Caleb Williams. That's their quarterback. Love opened that game with a bet. I will say this. The Packers probably should win the Super Bowl.
There's
I don't
no way.
I don't think they're going to though because I don't trust Love. I don't trust that team.
No, neither.
And they actually should have beat the Bears by more than what they did.
One thing about Williams, though, watching him, if you're not watching it closely, you just assume, oh, he must be playing well. The Bears are winning.
It's never him.
They're kind of winning despite him. He's not turning the ball over.
That's
he's not getting sacked.
He's only got 6 picks on the
They've
year.
also run the
But
shit
he's
out
not
of the
like
ball.
he's not winning the game by himself though.
And the Bears
it's a team.
defense
Yeah.
were getting turnovers, and Love only had the 1 pick.
And he's very inaccurate.
After he threw the 1 pick,
He's
Love
inaccurate.
settled down.
Yeah, Williams is very inaccurate as a passer.
You say that, but
He
he
doesn't
also
get
makes
sacked.
throws. He also
Yeah.
makes throws that are unbelievable. I
also holds the ball
broke
too
this
long.
whole
I
game
don't know, he's a
down.
weird quarterback.
He also-
On the run,
I
on the
like
run,
Williams. I
on the
don't think he's-
run against the
I'm
Packers.
not saying he's bad.
When LaFleur, when Johnson rolled Williams out, he hit almost like 80% of his passes.
I just don't.
Couple touchdowns. When he was in the pocket, terrible in the
Interesting.
pocket.
I don't
And
know how
that's
many-
Caleb Williams.
I don't know if you can
Or
win a Super
that's
Bowl
what
with
you
them.
have. Oh no, you can't win a Super
I
Bowl.
don't know about
with Caleb. But the biggest thing with the Bears is they're running the ball, and their defense leads the league in turnovers. So if you stop them from running and you don't turn the ball over, you're going to beat them, and that's what the Packers were able to pull off there yesterday. But was that like a performance where I want to pencil the Packers in?
Yeah,
But
If
it's
I-
gonna
you look at
set
that
them up to win the
NFC.
division, though.
it was a massive
They're
win.
going to
I mean,
win the
massive.
division. They're going to win the division.
And they look like
beat
the better
Lions
team. I
twice
agree with you,
already.
Jesiah. They look like the better team
Yeah.
the majority of that game.
But in the NFC, the game to me is the final season game against the Rams and the Seahawks. After watching this another Eagles debacle here, the Rams Seahawks winner, and I don't trust Sam Darnold. Those are the two teams, and I'll even say that 49ers bunch. Like, could I see the 49ers beating LaFleur in a playoff game? I could actually
It could
see
happen.
that happening.
I could see that.
Anyway,
So-
yeah.
So the Packers, and the other thing, and Ben Johnson did a wonderful job of this, and McVay's going to do it. McDonald's going to do it. You know, the Bears on play action, fake to run, they ran like 70% play action. Nobody in the NFL's ever done that. And it completely took Micah Parsons out of the game.
Yeah,
So there's a way to game plan.
And Ben Johnson. We'll
There's
say this
a
for
way
the
to
Bears.
game plan.
Yeah, be positive on the Bears. Ben Johnson does. a hell of a
Oh,
coach.
is he an
offensive
upgrade
coach?
No, but even their team, the way they're getting turnovers on defense,
He's
the way
improved them.
play calling. But Caleb,
He's coach of the year right
Caleb
now,
Wi-
right?
oh
Yeah.
no, coach of the year. Mike Vrabel's won 11
Okay,
games.
yeah.
No, and the guy with Jacksonville.
Do they
this
do a
will only
coach-
be the third
Do
time
they do a coach of the
Jacksonville.
year for
What
each
about the
conference?
Seattle
or they just pick
coach?
one?
No, there's one overall.
Okay.
The
head
Seattle
coach.
coach is doing
Who?
it too. The Seahawks coach.
McDonald's.
Yes,
great.
McDonald. If the Seahawks had a quarterback, I would be all over the Seahawks for the Super Bowl. But I don't trust Sam Darnold.
Darnold's-
It's the same thing
I'd
with.
rather have Caleb Williams.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
I would actually rather have Caleb
I
Williams
agree.
than Sam
I
Darnold.
agree.
It's
I
the
agree.
same thing with Denver. If you told me Bo Nix is for real, see, that's why I'm on Houston, because I know that Houston
actually,
defense.
that's a great segue to get you into Houston. You called it. If the Texans get 20 points, they're beating the Chiefs, and that's exactly what happened. You
and
were right.
that's
spot
going to
on
be
last week.
Houston. Every game Houston plays the
Yeah.
rest of the year, they
CJ
get to
Stroud,
20.
him sitting out, realized that
You-
like
yeah.
I could play to my defense.
And let me tell you this too. They got C.J. Stroud at quarterback. Now C.J. Stroud, Tom Brady, no. But I can trust that kid. He don't turn the ball over, take care of it. Houston's a simple thing. I could see Houston coming out of that AFC.
Ohio State people, we like C.J. Stroud.
I could see. Oh no, when he threw for 405 yards
I like
against
Stroud.
Michigan in the snowstorm and the 2 touchdowns. See, what I would ask, why didn't Ryan Day win a national championship with C.J. Stroud? He came into the NFL and won the Rookie of the Year. I'm just touting him to be a Super Bowl contender. You couldn't win the Big Ten with C.J.
Okay,
Stroud.
are
So
the
that-
Chiefs? Let's get
Yes.
Chiefs are done.
Houston's hot.
No,
Are the
Chiefs still
Chiefs
have a
done?
chance. No, Chiefs still have a chance.
They still have like Cincinnati has a 3%.
Oh,
The
okay.
Chiefs have a 12% chance. So
the
it's still
Chiefs-
there.
So the Chiefs need the Chargers to go 2-3 in their next 5 games.
It's possible because Herbert has a broken hand.
Yes.
It's possible.
This
And-
hurt. This
and
hurt the
do
Chiefs.
not
The Chargers winning.
It
do
did.
not
Yeah.
do not put too much into this Eagles
No,
win because Philly fans. Can you win another game this year?
they might
Who
not.
are you going to beat? And I know you've got Washington. I think they've got Washington twice,
They
so
might.
they should win those.
In
You know,
theory,
Washington's
because
pretty
Stroud's
solid.
out. Yeah, or Stroud.
Yeah,
because
Daniels.
So, but and that may be why they hold on. But this Redskins team has got some real problems when you're going forward. I don't know what they're doing with this offense.
yeah.
The receivers, the quarterback, most expensive offense in the league.
All right, let's.
If they lose to the Redskins,
We're gonna-
do you fire Sirianni?
He won't get fired.
No.
Let's pick.
They just won a
Wait,
Super Bowl.
let's highlight the games.
You lose to the
Oh, this
Redskins
week.
and you lose the
That's
division to
the
the
pick 'em.
Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Do you fire Sirianni?
No.
Okay,
Get
so
rid of Hurts.
They fired Doug Peterson quick enough there.
So the Bucks play the Falcons on Thursday. The Buccaneers are a -4. It's in Tampa. I'm taking the Buccaneers. I don't believe in the Falcons.
I'm going Tampa.
And this
Bounce
game's
back.
important. And this game's important.
Who's playing quarterback for the Falcons?
Kirk Cousins.
Cousins.
I'm going to go with the Falcons in this game.
Yeah, see, the problem that what you
Underdogs,
just
yeah.
saw was you saw what Tampa Bay did against New Orleans. I don't know
I
in
think
this
Tampa
game.
Bay
I
is
don't like
desperate.
either one of these teams.
They were desperate last week.
No, I thought they played down the competition.
Well,
They woke up.
It's
to
a must-win.
I will say this: that
Bucks off.
Falcons team is in a real bad way.
Mhm.
Raheem Morris, their head coach, there's a chance he's going to be let go here.
Again? Gonna fire their coach again.
Yeah, well,
Just
look
like
at
the
what
Raiders.
you said.
Just like the Raiders.
Penix was the 8th pick in the first round. The 2 pass rush guys they drafted. That whole thing in Atlanta's gone off
Those
the
two
rails.
pass rushers didn't really work out.
All right,
They
so
have not.
who do you
Actually,
like?
the kid from Tennessee.
Who's your pick?
Actually, a kid from Tennessee. Like Jesiah says, I guess you got to go with Tampa
You got
Bay.
because they're desperate.
But am I going to be shocked if Atlanta wins that game?
I would
Hell
be
no.
shocked.
I don't like picking these games because
Okay.
I don't want anybody
talking
betting on what I
spreads.
say.
So then Sunday, Texans play the Cardinals. We're all on the Texans. The spread's
Yeah.
9.5. I don't know about the spread, but Texans are going to win that game.
9.5. I never liked playing
Yeah.
that much in an NFL game. But how's the Cardinals going to score?
I
That's
can't-
Jacoby
I
Brissett
don't
in
see
that
it.
game.
He is a gunslinger. He's going to throw the ball no matter what. If he
Did you
gets
see
three-
what the Rams defense
Oh, I
did to
saw it.
Jacoby Brissett? Is that game in Houston?
Yeah.
It is in Houston.
See, that Houston defense is actually probably a little bit better than the Rams. That's a
don't
game.
know
There's a
about that.
Houston Rams game. I think it was 14-9.
Yep.
The Rams won. You guys need to pull that
was
tape
before
up.
Stroud believed in the defense, so he wasn't playing into
Well,
their
no,
defense.
yeah, well, that was when the Houston offensive line was a mess. That could be a Super Bowl preview, though. You need to go watch that
Rams
game
Houston.
because those two teams, they both got
Next game.
defense.
Yeah.
They got quarterback.
We got Bills and Patriots. It's in New England. It's a pick'em game. I'm going Patriots at home. I think the Patriots sweep the Bills.
Who do you got,
I
Frank?
think Bills snapped their winning streak.
See, I got to go with the Patriots because I can't trust that Bills defense.
I'm on the Bills too. So 2 Bills, 2 Pats.
I got Pats. Yep.
Next game.
Browns and Bears. It's in Chicago. Bears minus 7.5. You
going-
think the Bears will win this, but the Browns.
I'm going Browns.
The Browns choked the game against the Titans. They were winning. They choked the game
That's
away.
Stefanski.
I'm going Bears, but
Well,
very reluctantly.
you would figure that Jimmy Schwartz and the Browns would give Caleb Williams some trouble.
As Lion fans, we want the Browns to win, but I'll go Bears.
Yeah, you got to go with the Bears, but 7.5 is too much.
I'm taking the
so.
points.
Taking
Yeah,
the Browns, you're believing in
yeah,
Sugar?
I think
7.5,
7.5 too
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But the Bears will probably win the game.
Yeah, they'll win the game.
Next
I think
game.
So.
Giants Commanders. Who cares?
Oh my
I'm
god!
going Giants.
Don't even give
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Don't
skipping
even-
that.
See, some of these games-
Jags versus Jets. It's in Jacksonville. I'm going Jaguars. It's 11.5 point spread. A lot of
Who's
points. but,
quarterbacking?
yeah, I think Taylor's out now too.
No, it's the. I
Fields.
just saw.
No,
No,
if Fields
Tyrod
is out.
Taylor's hurt. They
Zach
had
they're
Wilson. I'm just
who?
kidding.
They had some guy.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah,
It's 12 spread.
Anyway, I'm choosing the Jags. I think the Jags are going to win that division. I know I like Houston too, but I think the
I'm
Jags
on the
are going to
Jags. I'm with
win
you.
the division.
I'm with you on that.
Bengals versus Ravens. Ravens have to win this to keep their playoff chances alive. I'm going Ravens because they're desperate, but their defense is awful.
What's the spread in that game?
2.5.
Ravens are favored by 2.5.
I'm going Bengals with the upset.
I think the Bengals beat them too.
Well, the Bengals
I like
how
that
much
pick.
did the Bengals just beat them by? They just beat them 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. They beat Baltimore by 14 points, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Bengals again.
Me too.
I'm
And
going
they're
Ravens.
at home.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens that one. Next game, Panthers and Saints. I'm going Panthers because they're desperate. They want to keep their.
Where's
season
that
alive.
game at?
It's in
Same.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
No way New Orleans makes the upset back-to-back weeks.
I go Pantros.
I'm going Panthers.
I
It's only
guess.
2.5
God,
point
there's some
spread.
bad games here.
2.5.
Keep going.
Lions versus Rams. Game of the week. You could argue.
Rams.
It's in LA, and the
Well,
Rams
the
are
Rams
favored by
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah, I'm
The
going
5.5
for
is
the
a scary line, but I like the Rams.
Rams. Yeah.
I think this game, it's not the Lions season, but if they were to win it, it would be huge. But I gotta go Rams.
If the Lions can run the ball in that game, they actually have a chance. If they don't run the ball, that's going to get ugly. If they drop Jared Goff back 30 to 40 times against that Rams,
It's gonna be dangerous.
it's going to be an ugly game.
Colts and Seahawks. It's in Seattle.
Fern, you didn't give your pick?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I said Rams.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to go with the Rams.
Thought so. Colts versus Seahawks. It's in Seattle. Seahawks are favored by 13.5. No way anyone can bet on the Colts the rest of the season. I'm going Seahawks with the 14 points.
The Colts.
I'm going
quarterback now?
Seahawks.
Riley Leonard. from Notre Dame.
Oh no, that's right. They just worked out Phillip Rivers.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, breaking news.
Yeah.
Hey,
That-
the
that
Colts,
was- that was
Colts
no
are
way.
he was
working
done
out.
when he retired.
Well, no, when you
Colts are
guys
looking
were
at
asking me
Phillip
about the
Rivers.
other quarterback, I was getting confused.
Are they going
with
to put Peyton Manning back there, quarterback for the Colts?
Let's bring Andrew Luck.
Run out Peyton Manning.
Let's bring Andrew Luck.
Jesus.
I don't know
They
if
should get
Shane
Chad
Sticken.
Powers.
I don't know if Shane Sticken gets fired, but
No,
I could
there's
see.
no way he gets fired.
I could see where the Colts would fire that general manager.
I got to go Seattle.
You have to go Seattle. 2 touchdowns. There's
Again,
no
I
way-
don't. Do I like laying 13 and a
No, to
half
win
in
the
an
game.
NFL game?
Seattle's-
No, but how can you not go with
Yeah.
Seattle?
Niners played the Titans. Titans are probably on a high, but 49ers are going to win this game. It's
No,
12 and a half,
49ers
but it's
will-
12 and a half points.
Man, these spreads.
It's
yeah.
so. How do you
See,
make
this
money?
is how the books get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Niners, but that's like even if you want to bet the money line, it's minus 1,000.
Yeah, you're not going to make anything.
Broncos versus Packers. This is a big game too.
Who was that?
Broncos and
Broncos.
Packers. It's in Denver,
That's
but
in
I'm
Denver.
going Packers. We're going to see what's possible. Like one of the biggest games of the year. I think Packers take care of business.
I'm going Packers.
It's in Denver though, which is scary, but I'm going Packers. What about you guys?
Denver always just sneaks away to win, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, they don't win big, but
I don't believe in them.
Mile High, it's 5,280 feet high above sea
What's
water.
the spread in that game?
2.5.
2.5
Green Bay.
Packers.
I'm going Denver at home.
I like taking home dogs usually, but
Yeah.
Well, the thing that you have, see, Love is the better quarterback, but the Broncos have the better defense. And the Packers' defense is going to stop Bo Nix. He's not going to have a big ball game.
And they don't have a good running game. Since
That's
Bowman got
actually,
hurt.
Denver could run the ball, but Sean Payton won't do that. Yeah, I would go with Green Bay because.
It's a rematch
I
of
always-
the Super Bowl.
I always feel good about my picks when you're on the pick too.
No, but
So you guys are both on Green Bay. Fern, who'd you have?
LaFleur,
Bay.
I'm the other
LaFleur,
one, okay.
if LaFleur runs the running back, Green Bay.
I think Love's
Jacobs.
I think Love's going to turn the ball over.
He's going to have problems with that Denver secondary and that Denver pass rush.
Next game.
Next game, Cowboys have life. They're playing the Vikings. It's only a 6-point spread. I'm going Cowboys. I know JJ just had a great game. I'm going
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Where's the
Same.
game at?
It's in
Dallas.
Dallas.
JJ didn't do anything in that game.
He threw
for
3
a
touchdowns.
Buck 60. Did you look at the touchdowns? 2
Yeah, I watched
yards,
it. I
4
watched
yards.
it, yeah.
He didn't total 30 yards on all 3
Hey,
touchdowns.
but that's what you have to do to protect the QB from
They
himself.
okay.
you got
McConnell.
Jefferson at
McConnell-
receiver out there.
McConnell has switched the offense.
Yeah.
I'm going Vikings against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Go JJ.
And
For
Monday Night Raw,
It's a joke.
You know, I would have went with the Vikings too until what I just saw here because Dallas is still alive now.
they're alive.
They
have
could
life.
beat
They're desperate.
Philadelphia in that division.
You gotta like Dallas to win that game, but
Yeah.
I'm pulling the upset. Going Minnesota.
Next game, so Monday game, it's Steelers and Dolphins. Steelers are favored by 3.5
Plus,
points.
Uh,
I hate
Wow, you
picking
guys
my
got
Steelers.
you and Billy need to watch that game together.
I said
I didn't even know Billy
We'll
was
watch the
alive.
game here.
I didn't know it is Monday. We'll see if Billy shows
Yeah,
up
we'll have
next
Billy
week.
come watch that game.
Yeah, I think I said Chiefs Dolphins. It's actually Steelers Dolphins. I got confused there.
But I hate choosing my team because even though I'm a fan, I hate the team. But I'm going Steelers. I don't believe in the Dolphins,
Who
and
you
it's
got,
cold. I know Tua just beat the Jets in the cold, and he can't
Tua's
play in the
been
cold.
terrible.
But
Tua's been
Tua
terrible.
is going to get killed by the Steelers pass rush.
I'm gonna take the Steelers.
I do agree with that weather thing. If it's going to be a blizzard in Pittsburgh, I'm taking the Steelers.
I was on that weather thing until last week when the Dolphins went in and butchered the Jets.
It was their defense,
But they're
though.
the
I don't think it was.
Jets.
I don't think it
This
was
is
Jets
what
are
I.
worse than the
This is
Steelers.
what I would be. They are.
yeah.
But what was that game?
They are.
But no, but at the
Justin
beginning
Fields
of the
had-
season when the Steelers won by 2
But they still
points.
won the game.
Yeah,
Fields
they did.
had the game of his
Listen,
career.
what I'd be worried about
That's
if I
the
was the
Steelers. The
Steelers,
Steelers do have the worst defense in the NFL.
Oh, I know.
So
Trust
me,
you
I
can
know.
lose any game.
they don't have the worst, but they can't stop
I think
the run.
statistically they're the
They
worst.
So
cannot
they're the
stop
worst
the run.
in the run, and then the worst in the pass.
And-
but they're great at the.
What else can you run besides a
Turnovers.
run or a pass?
No, they get when they get
Okay,
turnovers.
all right.
They
and
get turnovers,
Tua
and they get
Tua
to the
could
QB.
turn the ball over. That's how Pittsburgh will
And
win
John,
this
and they
game.
also
Is
get
if
to the
Tua
QB.
turns it over.
That's what they're good at.
Okay.
But what I'd be worried about if I was Pittsburgh, Miami's been running the ball. That's how. That's this 5-6 game win streak they've been on. They're going to try to run on Pittsburgh, and if they get that going, what's the spread?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, if they get that going, Miami will be in that game.
I don't like that spread. Because I can see the Steelers. The Steelers don't like touchdowns. They like Boswell kicking 5 field goals. You know?
No,
I just don't see
the
how
spread
Miami
tells you
scores.
that the way that game's going to go, it's going to be
It'll be a field
15-12 Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to have.
That's it for the games next week.
NFL.
Yeah. Do we have anything else we want to add?
NBA right now, we'll just just a brief rundown of it, because we said we would talk about it
Doncic
briefly.
is probably the MVP right now.
Who is?
Luka.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a great year.
If the Lakers remain in the top 4 in the Western
How is he
Conference,
the MVP and the Lakers are not?
the Lakers are the 2 seed.
Lakers.
They're
Okay,
17-6.
Why
No,
is
SGA, he's still in the mix.
reigning, and they're what 20-1.
So my problem with that, I hate to diminish a great player because how great the team is, but I think that's what you have to do. Shea's great, but so is the team. You can't give him. I don't think he can get back-to-back
Yeah, but I'm
MVP.
just saying he's won it. He's a reigning champion.
Yeah, no, he can win it still.
Doncic
He's not-
hasn't won anything.
Well,
If
I
Doncic,
think
if
they're
the
going to give it to a
Lakers-
new guy. NBA likes highlighting new MVPs. You could argue Jokic should have got MVP
well,
last year, but they
I
gave
have
it to Shea.
Jokic over Doncic.
Jokic right now is putting up MVP
Yeah,
numbers.
I would actually take
He
him
always
over
does.
Doncic.
Luka,
Well,
I love the way he's playing.
Top 6 seeds in the West though are Thunder, Lakers, Nuggets, Rockets, Spurs, T-Wolves right now.
For the Spurs to remain afloat without Wemby, it's saying something. That team might be legit.
Top 6 seeds in the East are the Pistons at 19-5, Knicks, Celtics, Raptors,
The Celtics
Magic,
are
Heat.
3.
Who was saying the Celtics
Wow.
were in a tank?
Billy.
Billy.
Billy
you were
thinks-
just telling. Well, the Celtics are the 4 seed.
To the 3 seed. Right
3
now.
seed.
Jalen
come
Brown-
on. They could be in the final again.
Jalen Brown's playing at a all
That's crazy.
NBA
No
level right
kidding.
now. Well,
Well,
He's always all NBA something.
He wasn't-
I mean, act like he is.
he wasn't last season though. He wasn't last season.
Okay, but the year before he won finals.
Now
MVP.
Tatum has no chance
I mean-
to come back at all. None.
Very, very soon.
Yeah.
All right, college
I will
basketball.
say this real quick. Is there a way the Lakers can get Giannis?
There is a way.
Oh, there probably is.
There actually is a way because they can match salaries with the Rui contract, but you have to give up Reeves.
No, then
Well,
no.
okay, Reeves or Giannis. Reeves is playing great, but there's a way
Yeah.
that they could, the Lakers could get Giannis because they have enough salaries to match. Now they don't have the picks, so you'll have to try to finagle Austin Reeves to a bad team to give up the picks to the Bucks. That's why it'll be a
Giannis
13 trade.
supposedly listed his 4 teams. Did anybody see what those were? I don't know if the Lakers
He likes
was
New
on the
York.
list.
He likes New York.
So I
Oh,
didn't
he
hear
wants to go
about.
to the Knicks?
I didn't hear about
He
4
lives
teams.
anywhere in New York for some reason.
I didn't hear about the 4 teams.
Why didn't the Knicks? Well, if I was the Knicks, I'd make that deal. What can they get him?
If you have talent.
Salary, yes, but they also don't have the picks.
I'd
For him. They
rather
gave
have
up 4
Giannis.
first-round picks for
Of
Mikal
course.
Bridges,
Giannis is a dog.
so they don't have the picks.
Giannis could put you over the top.
So a dark horse team to get Giannis, the Hawks. The Hawks have the picks.
Oh,
they
Yeah,
have
no,
the
I
assets.
read the thing I was looking at. The Hawks actually have the best pick deal
I would hate
for
that.
Giannis if they want to do that.
Why would he want to go there?
because Atlanta is still.
And I also heard the Hawks would be willing to give up Trey Young as part of that deal. The thing I was reading.
But
Yeah,
then
that's
he
what-
wouldn't-
that's
he
what they
wouldn't- He
said.
wouldn't compete for a title then.
no. If they could somehow keep Jalen Johnson, if they could somehow keep Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels has been playing the de facto point guard right now. He's one of the best 3-and-D, or sorry, not 3.
All I did
One of
was
the best
read, I think it
defensive
was
players
that
in the
guy in the ESPN Wimby or whatever. There was talk Atlanta was not adverse to possibly parting with Trey Young, which I can understand that.
So-
They're not going to
so
win a
there's
championship with him
Three
alone.
There's 3 star point guards that are essentially untradeable right now. Trey Young, because NBA GMs are realizing they can't win with these players. It's Trey Young, LaMelo Ball, and
John Morant.
John Morant.
Yeah.
Those are 3 unwinnable
They're like-
star players.
they're
And that's what I
almost
just said about Trey Young. You're not going to win a championship.
But now a team that actually wants those guys is the Timberwolves, because Anthony Edwards is also a head case. He's friends with all these guys. Will the Timberwolves win? No, but it'll be fun basketball to watch.
That's what they say.
Well, you guys were talking about the Timberwolves getting John Morant, and
Jaw's done.
who's the coach in Minnesota?
It's some Italian guy. Oh, sorry, no, Finch, Chris Finch in Minnesota.
So you're going to coach that kid from
All right.
Georgia and John Morant.
No one wants John Morant.
Let's go.
I don't blame them. Why
Just a-
would you want John Morant?
You don't.
Early season college basketball right now. The top 10: Arizona 1, Michigan 2, Duke 3, Iowa State 4, UConn 5, Purdue 6, Houston 7, Gonzaga 8, Michigan State 9, and BYU 10. Some notable things: Iowa State just went into West Lafayette and beat Purdue by 23. It's the most the number 1 team ever is lost at home.
And Iowa State's not in the top 10.
They're 4.
Iowa State's 4.
Oh, okay.
The only
Iowa State's 4.
I have no issues with those rankings except Houston's ahead of the Zags. I think the Zags are better, but besides that, I think the top 10 solid.
Speaking of the Purdue loss, I saw a great reel a couple days ago, and it was no matter what Purdue is ranked, no matter how good they are, you can always bank on them to lose a bad game every season.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
unbelievable they do this every year.
In any college basketball game, if you watch it, you have to pay attention to the 3-point
Usually they don't
percentage.
do it at home like
Let me
that, though.
the 3-point percentage, I think Iowa State shot 60% from three.
Yeah, that's
So-
They were lights out.
Now, and like my dad just said, I cut him off. Going into Purdue, though, if that happened in some goofy tournament in Vegas or Hawaii,
Anything happened.
But you play Purdue at Purdue.
that's
Michigan's
impressive.
probably going to lose at Purdue.
To go
when they
there, to go there and beat him by that is impressive. That's impressive.
Another impressive win. Duke going to Michigan State and beating Michigan State. Duke was the favorite. It was only a 1.5 point spread. It was essentially pick 'em.
I will say
That's impressive.
I didn't watch that game too closely except the first half.
Michigan.
Michigan State looked like the better team to me. So the fact that Duke was able to win that game,
I just don't think they
somewhat
have the same
impressive.
size.
So I heard Fears was
No.
Jeremy Fears, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was an inside job. He went 0 for 10, had like 6 turnovers. Something unbelievable.
that happens
like
in Michigan State sometimes.
They don't shoot the ball well. If I was Michigan State, I'd be real worried about that game because Tom Izzo loves to do that. He loves these games in the 50s, 60s. The pace of that game, it was in East Lansing.
Yeah.
And you couldn't beat this true freshman. And I'm not that Boozer kid. Good luck with him.
You don't like him?
What's he going to do in the league?
He's a top 3 pick.
Yeah, I know.
He
Somebody's
looks
going
like
to
the
take
real-
him in the top
He
three.
looks like the real deal.
What's he going to do in the league? He's not a power forward, and that's the way he plays.
he-
Yeah, but he's got a power forward.
Ross,
You're talking about Boozer, right?
Yeah.
See, I already read an NBA executive was talking about him. He looks great against inferior talent, but as soon as you get him with a guy that's a body his size, he just looks like a guy.
That's
he's
all he does.
he's not better than Flag.
I don't think so either.
Well, Flag
so-
can move a little bit, and also
there's
can
only
shoot.
three positions in the modern NBA. It's the center, a guard, and a forward.
But what
He could shoot and he can handle the ball.
No, but he doesn't stand out. Though.
when he's got
I see
Let me
him
say
doing
this:
other-
I was not a Flag guy. Still really am not.
He's
but-
playing great. I
But
love the
watching
way he's playing right
Flag and Khan at Duke, they're better than any of these
oh
Duke
yeah,
guys.
no. Well, they're
In my opinion.
they're better players. No, I think that Boozer kid. I think the biggest thing with him is who his dad is. Really, to tell you the truth. No, he's going to
No,
go.
his dad
He'll
was a
be a
nobody
first-
in the
he'll-
NBA. He
yeah,
was
but
a
he-
one.
He wasn't a
he-
nobody.
He was a
He was
name.
one All NBA, one-time All NBA guy.
He
He's
was
not
great with the
no.
Jazz, the
When he was
Bulls.
at Duke, they
He's not a
went
nobody.
nuts about him.
But he's not a somebody either.
Neither
it's not
of
like,
those-
It's not like
neither
he's
of
getting
those
Bronny
Boozer
James and
kids.
Bryce.
No, he's not an all-time player, but he was on the Bulls
Well,
team
yeah, I
that
know.
won,
He was a
won the
one or
one seed. He was a
two-time-
starter on
he was
that
a
team.
one-
It was
yeah,
Derrick
no.
Rose. He wasn't a bum.
When Boozer was
He's a
at
one or
Duke,
two-time All-Star. He's just a guy. It's
No,
like
but-
it's like Kenny Martin's son. You're
No,
not
he's
highlighting
better than Caleb
Kate.
Martin.
He's better than Kenny Martin.
I think he is.
Kenny Martin is career
I
wise.
think Kenny Martin's overrated.
I would say they're pretty close actually. But point I'm making, Cameron Boozer is not getting what he's getting because his dad's Carlos Boozer.
No,
he's
he's-
not Bryce
no,
or
I'm
Bronny
not,
James.
but what I'm saying,
No, I'm not
he's
saying
been
that.
in the
I agree. He's not that.
AU,
That's what it
the
sounds like.
AU people. He's the latest, greatest thing since sliced bread. I've watched.
Well,
him
actually,
play.
I agree
The
with
game I saw him in, like John Ross is saying, if you got somebody that can match up with him, there's nothing special about that kid.
When they play,
Well, we're gonna
Let's
get
see
to
who
see
else,
this game. Michigan and Duke
I was
play
just about to say,
in
oh,
Washington
yeah.
D.C.
Oh,
Now it's like in February,
and
but
I
it will be a
think
good
that's a
game.
big
though.
game.
Michigan's
Yeah.
size on
Because
that front
Yaxel-
line, Boozer's going to have problems.
Yaxel
in that
has
game.
the size to
What I-
guard.
what
I
I
don't see
would
how
question-
Duke beats them.
What?
I don't see how Duke can beat Michigan in that game.
Well, Michigan can turn the ball. Michigan's problem is they don't
It's-
have
it's
a
their
backup
guards.
point.
Let me
guard.
say,
guards.
if Cadeau is healthy for that game, he
Yeah.
will be up for that.
No,
game
that's going to be
against
the
Duke.
question all year with
No, but he'll be
Michigan.
ready to go
Is he
against
Is
Duke.
if Cadeau is healthy
What?
and ready to
Cadeau?
play.
Cadeau, he's been playing really well.
Yeah.
But
All right, guys, I think that wraps up this segment of Club Rats. My name is John.
I'm Jesiah.
Fernando.
Ross.
Remember to like, subscribe, comment. See you guys next week. Peace.